Okay, I think I'm live. I think I'm double live. Here we go. Double live. We are double live. Just wait for Angela. What's up, everybody? Hope you guys are going to show up in crazy numbers. I'm completely and totally talking to myself right now, and I don't even care. I think it's the first part of getting to your end of life. Anyway, the time we start talking to ourselves. So, welcome to me. That's pretty funny, right? So, I think my, let me see here. So, am I not streaming? Yeah, I'm streaming. I hope I'm streaming. I'm currently seeing it no viewers anywhere, so I don't know if I'm actually streaming.
Yeah, well, let me check.
It is feeling lonely. I'm feeling a little like I'm feeling like a bit of a loser right now. I'm not gonna lie.
It's the Took Show.
Oh, we're both beanieing. Oh no, our side by side is gonna be like, oh, look at these two beanie babes.
That's me.
Should I take mine off?
No,
You sure?
do it, bro.
Who's here with us now?
Surfer casual.
Susan Flanagan, Jake. I'm not sure who's here. I hope everyone shows up eventually.
I'm about to be here.
Can
in a
you
second.
check and see if I'm on YouTube?
You want to see that first?
Well, if I'm not there, then I would like to.
Yep, I see you.
Okay, cool.
I don't see me.
Oh, Erica just showed up. Hi, Erica. Congratulations, Erica. Congratulations to. I knew you guys were going to win, of course, because it's just too uphill a battle, and then of course one of our star players.
I thought you said congratulations for being here. I didn't know you meant like congratulations
No,
for
Erica.
sports.
Erica is a Dallas North Stars fan.
Mm.
See what I did there? And so she, they beat the Winnipeg Jets, and it was a sad day for. Yay, Delicate's here. Hello, Delicate, and Erica are here. And I don't know. We have 5 people over on the other live. I haven't started talking to them yet. Oh, Jake just says Don's Poem was a very interesting movie. Forever wished it would have worked out for you. Well, thank you so much for saying so. There's so much going on around it right now, Don's Plum, just because of the book that I've recently released, but also there's just a lot going on, I think, with with the whole with the crowd. Let me get Angela in on this, guys. Boom! Look who's there. So, yeah. Hi, Angela. By the way, you're live on YouTube now. I just moved you over. Everybody can see you. Yeah, thank you. Delicate is Dr. Susan's over, by the way, on the TikTok live. Hello, Dr. Susan. And Young is there. What's up, Young? Have you checked out the YouTube yet, Young? If you can, it's in my bio if you want to check it out. But Delicate is apologizing for the loss of the Jets. And listen, this is a terrible thing for me. We lost the Jets, and the Jets lost, I should say, and it was depressing. Of course, at first it's very sad. But then I remembered that it's sports, and that I'm not supposed to let sports ruin my day. I'm only allowed to let sports make my day, which is a pretty cool rule when you think about it, especially since, it's kind of the candy of life, isn't it? Still hurts. I've been waiting 55 fucking years for the Winnipeg Jets to get to the Stanley Cup final, and I'm starting to think it'll never happen. And, as an Eagles fan, I knew a lot of Eagles fans who passed away without ever seeing the Eagles win a championship. And I think about them all the time. You would not believe it. Erica says, sports ruin my day all the time. Well, you're a Dallas fan, so that's completely understandable, of course. I know what you're going through. You know I do. Angela just left, so let me get her out of here then. So anyway, so glad to see you guys. We do have some stuff prepared for you. Do you guys like the new overlay that I did today? By the way, just over these next few days, Angela just splits right in the middle and leaves me stranded.
I have to explain.
You could just say, like, I'm going to leave. And then, like,
I have to explain. You know that dog?
yeah.
The dog that, like, complains when he's in here with us and then
Yeah.
also complains when he's not with us.
Yes.
I just closed the door on him because I'm like, dude, I can't make you happy.
He's such a moaner.
I know. He wants company, but he also wants entertainment at the same time. So he can't decide which one he wants to groan about more. Anyway, that's over.
Erica says it's her college teams that hurt her the most. You know, I guess I have some good fortune in not being a college fan. You know, I'm from Canada. I never went to school in America. And the only thing about American or the collegiate sports in America, the only thing that bothers me about the collegiate sports in America is how it feels like those athletes are taken advantage of.
That's true.
They feel exploited to me. Like you see these kids who blow their knees out, who like get injured and lose their potential career to be in the NFL, and they do that, you know, at the collegiate level where what they're getting is a full boat ride.
Is that the explanation for why they're not being exploited? Because they get a scholarship?
No, what I'm saying is that, the whole
because
idea.
it seems obvious that they're being exploited.
But
so
they can't
what's
even
the
do
argument?
like they couldn't even do endorsements, or they can't even like make money just by being fucking great athletes. Anyway,
What they have to do is they have to make college so unbelievably expensive so that when they give it away, it's like a really high value item and it's like comparable to like the kind of money they should be making.
right.
They just raise the price and they're like, look at all the value you're getting.
Exactly right. I'm just lining up some media. I have only one piece of media today. Well, no, I didn't get that download. I could get it still.
Get what?
That download, or sorry, that screenshot that you sent. The hilarious screenshot. Didn't you want that for the live?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Young on TikTok said, as long as you don't destroy everything over it, you'll be fine.
Over
sports.
Over sports?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yes. You know, in Don's Plum, Scott Bloom, he references Super Bowl Sunday after let me fix my horizon. I'm sorry, guys.
I kind of liked it.
That was a tilted. You did?
Yeah.
Look, I'll just get a little Dutch angle there if you want. All right, look at Dale. Hey,
As long as the horizon line on the top works, because you got these shelves, you know.
Where was I?
You were talking about Scott Bloom referencing Super Bowl Sunday.
Scott Bloom. So in Don's Plum, for those of you who saw it, you know that, like, you know, when the guy slaps when the girl slaps the guy, Scott Bloom references Super Bowl Sunday. And what's interesting about that is that that wasn't something he rehearsed. That was something he threw in, like while we were shooting, and I didn't know what the reference was because it was 1995. I'd only been in America a little over a year and didn't really know anything about this, which was that domestic violence spikes massively during like Super Bowl Sunday. Every Super Bowl Sunday, I don't know if it's still true. It was back then, but apparently women are at extreme risk during Super Bowl Sunday because of men who lose bets, or it's just fucking men losing their shit.
But we're too emotional
over
to be
sports. Women are too emotional. Yeah, well, you know,
to have like leadership roles.
you know, you don't want that. Not at the highest level. You could do it at like the second highest level.
Right.
Women are emotionally capable of leading at the second highest.
The second
level.
highest level, like
Yeah.
in the Baha'i faith.
Yeah, at the Baha'i faith.
Like not the
U.S. presidency.
nobody that actually makes decisions.
No, you really good at that. Almost high. For those of you who don't know, we're fucking joking. We're ex-patriarchs. Well, I am. Angela was never one, was she? Anyway. I don't know why I've said anyway now 3 times.
Anyway.
We're both wearing beanies.
It's the Beanie Show.
It's the Beanie Show. It's the Two Real Beanie Show.
Okay. Can you clarify something for me?
Yeah.
About you're a Canadian. You would know this.
I am a Canadian.
Do you guys say beanie as well as toque?
No, we don't say beanie.
You don't say beanie at all.
Beanie was something I had to learn.
Okay.
In Canada, we say toque.
So this is a toque.
I believe that's a toque. Somebody tried to tell me that a toque meant that it had to have like a bob at the end, you know.
Yeah, like your Phillies.
Yeah, like my Phillies toque.
You should grab it.
This is a straight up toque. I'll show you
A
this.
little show and tell. See, I always thought that that's what you guys meant by toque.
It's a little dusty from camping, but this is a Phillies toque, and this, the palm, Is that what it is? Is that a palm? What is that?
It's a palm. Pom. I don't know.
Is it?
I think so.
I learned how to make one and forgot really quickly. It's really neat though.
You just wind and then.
Yeah, it's neat. Anyway, that's a toque.
I love that one. So
I think this is a toque too.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know for sure though. I haven't lived there in 30 years. Anybody
like,
from Canada can help us out on this?
I feel like
What happened there? We just had a heavy audio spike. I'm sorry for that, folks.
I feel like Canadians would have various words for all the different kinds of warm hats.
Pom-pom. Yeah, Nadine. That's right.
Pom-pom.
Mm-hmm. Say that again. I'm sorry.
I feel like Canadians would have various words for the different kinds of warm hats.
Of toques?
Right.
Nah, fucking toque's a toque. You gotta have one. Everybody needs a toque.
I was just thinking about kind of like how apparently Russia has in Russian there's various different words for loneliness.
Really?
I don't know.
Well, I wonder if it's just because there's so many different levels of loneliness.
I know that when I learned how to speak Portuguese, there's a lot of words that are kind of really difficult to translate directly into English because they're so emotionally nuanced. You kind of have to describe them instead of translate them. So I wonder, I just figured you guys would be like that with cold. There's different kinds.
How about a little feedback, guys, for the YouTube folks? Do you like the overlay? And Angela, can you see the overlay?
Yes.
Do you like it?
What do you mean by overlay?
That's the Hollywood background.
Oh. The
black and white Hollywood background. And then, the way I have us set up in this two shot, if you want to call it that.
Yes, I like it. I like it. You get my vote.
Well, let's see if we get Delicate's vote or Nadine's or Erica's.
In the meantime, do you want to hear from the chat?
I don't know where Tanner is. So let me tell you something. He's not obligated to be here, obviously. Where the fuck is Tanner? Where is...
Tanner's on YouTube. I mean, on TikTok.
Oh, is he?
Well, not tonight.
No, I know. He comes on both. Pat. Oh, well, the reason I was saying I wonder where Tanner is because I've had such a bad sports couple of days because the Winnipeg Jets lost.
You want to commiserate with someone who
and also the Phillies closing pitcher who throws 100 miles an hour got suspended for 80 games for taking PEDs. He claims, and his coach believes him, that he was unaware that the thing he was taking had a PED in it. Mm-hmm. He was, and look, there's a reasonable defense for that. The man was throwing 100 miles an hour. He didn't need the strength. But he did take.
But is that how he got the strength?
Well, he took a supplement. The supplement he was taking was a supplement to assist him in weight loss without muscle loss, which he didn't know was a PED. And that's where he was like, I fucking didn't realize, or he didn't say I didn't realize. I shouldn't quote him. I forget that I'm like, it doesn't matter if there's only 10 or 20 people or whatever, but we don't have 20 people. What am I, huh? Fucking Joe Rogan over here.
Was that the situation with Lance Armstrong, or no?
No.
His Lance Armstrong was Chael Sonnen, where they both they had hypogonadism or something, so they were taking.
What is that? Gonad? What's that?
It's just you're low testosterone because your junk doesn't make testosterone well. So they have to take supplements so that they don't transition.
So they can
So,
create them.
gender affirming care.
Wake up with boobies kind of thing?
Yeah, kind of thing.
Okay.
I kind of did anyway. It was performance enhancing drugs. Even though it wasn't prescribed, it had a legitimate prescription for it. Right. So they claimed,
Well, anyway, that's what happened in my sports world. I won't bore you with it because I know that we're not but.
Do you want to hear from the chat?
Yeah.
Okay. On TikTok, Reeby is asking, will Too Real become available on Audible?
Well, I am hoping so. It proved to be more complicated than I can handle here in my home. Just because I have such a high baseline noise level that I just can't get it out.
We live in a rental, so it's not.
So the answer is yes. The question is, so it's not if, it's when, and I don't have an answer to when. But you can pick up the, either the paperback for 20% off or the ebook.
I have a question.
Plays on your Kindle or whatever. You can get that for 50% off. You can just click on my website there in TikTok. But I'm sorry that I don't have it available for audiobook just yet.
If you recorded an audiobook,
yeah,
you could just upload it yourself to Audible? Or
Well,
is there some sort of like
yeah, I can-
approval process?
Yeah, I mean, Audible's a bit tricky because Audible's kind of like Kindle Unlimited. So there's the question about whether or not I want to become exclusive to them, because that's kind of what has to happen.
Oh.
So I'm figuring all that out. But I don't have the product right now anyway, which really sucks because I would really love to be able to offer the audiobook right now. The book is killing. I'm just so excited about it.
It's unaliving?
Yeah, exactly. What's up, Essie? I hope that I started Beloved, by the way, by Toni Morrison. It's fucking brilliant. Do we have any readers here? Are any of you guys readers? I know that Delicate needs to do
A lot of people read your book. Does that
I know
count?
Delicate needs to do the do the audiobooks by preference, if I remember correctly. Will Angela narrate? VB asks, will Angela narrate, with a big smile. Look at you you got the fans with that voice of yours. I'm telling you, you don't know how good it is. Like I like to call you when I just go to the grocery store just so I can hear your voice over there. It's not just that you have a really wonderful voice, but like microphones love it.
Well, what's funny about the phone is I hate talking on the phone.
No, you do.
It doesn't matter to who. I hate it. It's very uncomfortable. I think I just like really struggle with like the lack of visual social cues. So I always feel like I'm just like stepping over everybody when I talk on the phone. So when you call me from the grocery store, I get really low volume and I get like so I probably am doing like a little bit of like
ASMR. Is that
yeah,
what you call that?
That's probably doing.
It's like
doing
Angela's
a little like
ASMR is gold.
It probably
We should
sounds like
probably
pillow
just get
talk.
an OnlyFans going where all you're doing is sitting there doing ASMR, you know, like and just smiling and doing it, just talking to the mic softly and saying all the things they want to hear.
I'll start tomorrow. Delicate said, yeah, I like the city skylines. You got her vote.
Good.
But you're not comparing, so you don't know whether...
Well, it's not really...
We don't know whether there was a better...
It's like I got to do a 30 bunch of clicks or whatever. So I'm just going to introduce things to... I have this new thing I'm excited to show you guys called No Notes. So I had this like awesome little kind of... I don't want to call it a vision this morning where I was like laying in bed thinking about nothing at all. And then what popped into my head... Well, I think I was looking at something and I loved it so much and I was like, dude, I have no notes for that. And then I was like, and then I thought about that as like
brilliant,
a little segment for the show.
That's genius.
Or for the live, just to
you call your agent on the phone. You got to hear this. Let me pitch it to you right now. Oh, you're with your kids? It'll only take a second.
Getting crushed, aren't I?
What do you mean?
It's not genius. No, it's just a little. It's like a.
I'm not making fun of you.
You'll see. You'll see.
I think it's fun. That feeling is great. To be like, yeah, I came up with an idea. Let's make it work.
So I just had this little more. Well, this is how much the show's on my fucking mind. Right? I call it the show because I'm 55 years old.
Because you're Mr. Showbiz.
The live. I really love this. I love this format very much, and I really want to get into it creatively. And I think that was the first little spill of it. Like we're having conversations, and we're going to keep it always. Oh, so sorry. We're going to keep it obviously just conversational because that's what I love and it's what I do best. It's my best kind of dialogue. It's my best kind of life. I dialogue in my head all the fucking time, as is I think evidenced in the book that I wrote. But I still want to throw in some like little treats, some little creative treats. So this little one we have is called No Notes, and it's just going to be like often probably just stand-up comics, which you can in today's whatever notes, the description. You can see the comic.
So what's today's No Notes segment?
Wait, are we doing it?
Yeah, we have to do it. You can't introduce it and not do it.
Well, let me just give me a second then. All right. Well, all right. I was kind of waiting to see if Tanner was going to be here for No Notes. He deserves... Tanner,
we have to
like
organize.
Delicate and others, Nadine has been here. He's probably seen 100 lives of ours. Like people don't know we've been doing this since December every weekday. So we have like whatever that is. Shit. That's a lot. It's like a fucking lot. Well over 100. And I think Tanner was here for like 100. So I always try to see if he's coming, You can expect a guy who's been around for 100.
Yeah, you don't want to cut the cake before everybody's arrived.
I'll have to like text him now because now I'm worried about him. He's like a become family. If you guys don't show up and be like, I hope everything's okay. Did I say something? Like Mandy hasn't been back. And I think Mandy hasn't been back because, I was talking like pretty harshly about Baldoni. And I don't think she liked that.
I don't think she cares.
I'm very sensitive, and you might be right. But...
everybody always wants to...
I like your segment ideas. We just have to organize so that, like, you have to figure out what to do first because you keep waiting for people to show up instead of just beginning.
Well,
so maybe you should...
That's sort of the live-y thing, you know. All right.
I can hear that dog groaning in here. He's so persistent. He doesn't just, like, go and, like, you know, lie down and, like, hang out. He just complains.
So we're going to do no notes on YouTube. You'll actually see it. I hope you guys will hear it on... Oh, maybe I should turn it up so that you guys can hear it on TikTok.
It's a very satisfying click sound.
It's my mechanical keyboard. If you're a writer and you don't have a mechanical keyboard, I just highly recommend you get one because it's clickety clack clack and
tickety-tack-tack.
And it's just the feedback's amazing, and you can just go on these rolls where you're like, and all of a sudden you're like, holy shit, I had 3,000 words today. All right, I'm gonna transition this in.
No notes.
No notes is in. Can you see it? Here it goes, guys. All right, this is no notes, and we'll talk about it in a minute. But this is no notes, and no notes means, you know, it's kind of like like so. Angela and I, we work together, and she's my editor, and I will hand in scenes, and maybe once she had no notes, maybe once. There might have been
very often I had no notes
in the end.
Yeah, well, also in the beginning too. I mean, there were the problem with notes giving you no notes is that you'll go and revise it again, and then I have notes because I'm like, put it back the way it was. It was perfect.
Okay, guys. This is, and I guess I'm going to play for you too, Angela, because you don't have any audio anyway. So, okay. Hopefully this won't like feedback.
Dale, this looks great.
So
you made it.
This is, isn't this cool? So this is no notes. Here we go. This is going to be fun. This little segment's going to be fun because it's like, you know, anyway, here goes. Let's roll.
Everybody always wants to change the race of Jesus Christ. White people made Jesus white. I got black family members and they're like, that's not right. And I get, like, the Arab side of me gets pumped up. I'm like, yeah, let them know. And they're like, nah, Jesus Christ was black. And I'm like, no. No, man. He's Arab. You know where he was born. He was born in Bethlehem. Which, by the way, modern day... I feel like we need Jesus so bad, but every time he comes back, he just gets drone struck by the idea
It's just so funny on so many levels.
Jesus keeps trying to come back, but he's running out of hospitals. He keeps getting spawn camped by Israelis. All right.
That's today's no notes. I don't know if we'll have no notes every day. Just that's the other thing. But that joke is just so absolutely straight up killer, and that is by a comedian, Demetrius Fields. And I went in and checked out a bunch of his stuff. Check him out on Reddit. He's Demetrius Fields on Reddit, one word. He's hilarious, but also you can check out his website. I got it linked in the description. The guy's a funny kid. He's a really funny kid.
You linked it in the description already?
Yeah. He's a funny kid. Sorry guys, I should have spelled that out. He's a really funny kid. And anyway, that joke is just hilarious on so many levels because, you know, on the one hand, I'm not going to get into the problems of the Middle East because we all know what they are, and it's frightening.
Yeah, I know. I had a hard time with that joke because I'm like, man, it's too soon. Like, it's just like,
well, why it's brilliant
funny.
to me. Well, I'd say I do think it's really funny because what really why I have no notes is because it like in a really funny way it describes the whole tragedy and stupidity of it. Like the ridiculousness to on the one hand believe that that their spiritual leader is going to return to earth and for all intents and purposes the assumption should be that he's going to come home.
I have no notes on his delivery because I feel like it's really, really incredibly rare comic talent that can just like steamroll right through a risky joke without betraying the fact that they know it's risky.
Yeah.
Like I think that he really nailed the delivery and brought everybody along.
Yeah.
And kept it light when it's obviously not light. You know? I
mean, he's an Arab. He's Arab descent. It's sort of like, in that context, obviously, If you saw it on YouTube, you would have seen that he's half Arab.
You know what's really funny about that is
What?
that you started out saying that you were reading Toni Morrison's Beloved, and then you had no notes, and so that's what I was expecting.
Oh, I have no notes on Toni Morrison.
I was
Yeah,
expecting
Brown
you
Dog
to.
and Vixie don't come around much anymore. No, I haven't seen them in a while. That makes me sad. Thank you for liking both on YouTube and on TikTok. I know it's sad. It's kind of sad when we lose guys. I don't know if you guys remember. Do you remember Slick Mick?
You're still sad about. Where'd you go, Slick Mick?
Slick Mick, he bolted. He sent me a text. He DM'd me on TikTok, and he said, "Did I get that right?" He said, "Did I hear you right that you would have acquitted O.J. Simpson even though you knew he was guilty?" And I said, "Yes, the DA fucked up the trial."
Yeah, the investigators absolutely
Which is not
bungled
that's,
everything.
That's not a subjective opinion. That's obvious.
That's the jury agreed.
Literally, the murderer walked away.
Yeah.
Like literally, the murderer got away, and there's no question that he was the murderer. I mean, it's a very absolute.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people never get justice. A lot of victims never get justice because the police and the investigators and the district attorney and the judge and all these other people screw up.
Yeah,
You know.
absolutely. So,
Would you like to segue into the?
Karen retrial.
Sure.
Let's hear it. You got so. First of all, by the way, I guess we should. A dog's chirping now. Crazy. Don't just get up and leave. Tell me if you're gonna leave.
I am going to leave. I'm gonna throw some food at him. See if that'll placate.
Okay.
He's not a very good communicator.
Guys, Angela's gonna go take care of the dog. It's just you and me. What can I say? All right. I don't know. Sorry, we have a bit of a chirper. Yeah. So Slick Mick. Wasn't that weird? So I was telling the story. So Slick Mick, yeah, he just. And I never heard from him again. And then he unfollowed me, which I didn't even realize until weeks later. And I was like, wow, he just stopped coming around. Unfollowed me on all the platforms. I think, honestly, I have this suspicion that he was that he's a retired cop. And he probably was vibing that I'm not one of those guys who would put that sticker with the blue bar or whatever, you know what I'm saying, on my car, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to, say that I'm not pining on anything. I'm not I'm just saying, I think he figured out that maybe we're not philosophically aligned. We'll put it that way. But you're right, Nadine. Nadine said that just because you have a difference of opinion doesn't mean you have to bounce. And it's I kind of like that we have differences of opinions. It's like Delicate and I have had differences of opinions. You and I have, Nadine. I mean, they're always mild, but you got to have a little. You need that to have I don't know, to put some tension in. Angela just came rolling back into the studio.
You're having so much fun.
Look, the truth is that I know that this is not going to be our best live tonight. And I'm just so grateful for people who are fucking going through the good times and the bad times and the hard times and the whatever as we grow. But I'm excited. Yeah,
I'm excited to see how we grow too. I'm excited to move into a bigger place so that we can actually make a nice little set for
Well, that's the
people.
next step, yeah.
So can I just tell you?
Yes, you can tell me.
I
What?
just have to tell you about this.
Yes.
This dog is such a manipulator.
Why?
I go out there.
Yeah.
He's been really crying, right?
Right.
I go out there. See?
Yeah.
He's cool.
Why not
He's
bring him
chilling.
in? Why not bring him in?
He's not even stressed out.
Well, then bring him in.
But he's gonna get all excited
No, just bring him in, and then
Right.
and then he'll settle down.
But I went out there and I was expecting him to be upset, and he's not. He was like, "Hey, what's up?"
Fucking dogs, bro. All right, Angela. Angela's going to leave us one more time for this damn dog. Thank you for your patience. Then we're going to get into the Karen retrial because it was a fucking crazy day. The Karen retrial was fucking crazy. They. I don't know what this lawyer's name is, and maybe Angela will know. It's not.
It's Alessi.
It's well. So just wait till you get on mic. But Angela knows the name of this lawyer for Karen Reed. It's not Jax. I call him Jax.
His name's Alessi.
Well, can you just wait till you're on camera? Just like talking like you're like you guys like we're like she's in the kitchen
Okay.
getting the pie for everybody.
That is what it's like. Okay, I know. You're very excited. Welcome back.
Thank you for blocking him. Angela took my Fender guitar case and blocked the dog from getting into my side of the room.
Yeah, because if he wants to, there's too many cables and stuff. We don't have the tidiest setup here.
No.
It's not dog proofed.
Oh, so the lawyer's name.
You're talking about Alessi.
Yeah.
I don't know his first name, but
The lawyer's name is Mr. Alessi. Is that what you said?
Alessi.
Alessi. Okay.
Alessi.
All right.
What, you're writing it down?
No. You just keep talking.
Oh.
Today's trial was.
You said it was crazy, and I just imagined them all like throwing chairs and stuff.
No. He crossed. So Alessi crossed the. So they brought.
Okay, do you want me to set it up?
Yes, please.
Okay. So before the weekend, the the prosecution had introduced a new timeline, which you're not supposed to do in the middle of a case. In the middle of a trial is very, very weird to all of a sudden just completely change some of your evidence. So they asked the judge whether they could, and the judge approved it, but they said to the defense that they would be allowed to have like robust cross-examination, like no restrictions. They're like, yes, we're going to allow them to do this totally weird thing where they completely change the evidence in the middle of the trial, which is really grounds for a mistrial. That's
Right.
usually how that goes.
Yeah.
But if you guys want to go along with it, then you can just interrogate these people. And so that's what happened today. And we were expecting them to get interrogated on the timeline, but it turns out that the witness, the expert witness that the prosecution used in order to introduce this timeline had lied all over his resume. So there was a whole bunch of them telling the jury all about how this guy doesn't even have the qualifications that he claims to have. And so how could you possibly believe the information he's providing to you about this timeline, which is it's forensic data analysis. So it's like if he's not even qualified, if he doesn't even have his degrees that he claims that he does, then, it's impeaching the witness.
It's incredible. I couldn't believe it. Like he
It was really damning.
the guy, like
that guy definitely lost his job today.
when he said, oh, thank you, Erica. You said Alessi. I'm sorry, I didn't even notice that. When Alessi said, are you familiar with the term diploma? No, what was it called? Diploma, education. I'm trying to remember the exact term because it was fucking awesome, but he just basically said like deception, like diploma deception or something like that. Like there was this, I guess there's a specific academic term. Probably some of you know it, but there's an academic term about people who lie about their fucking education. And he asked him if he's familiar with it. He goes, yes, I am.
Yeah,
this guy said so many things wrong, and not only did he say so many things wrong, but he made so this guy's a 10-year veteran. One of his jobs, because this is what they do, they have a really interesting motto or corporate ad line, which is something like our purpose is to shed light on the truth, or something similar to that. So they know that they're going to be sitting and testifying and doing all this stuff. Clearly he's testified multiple times, but this guy multiple times he just gave too much up. Like one of the first things that we got taught when we were getting sued by Leonardo DiCaprio, by our lawyers, the first thing they taught us was shut the fuck up. That was the first thing they said. Was like, answer the fucking question that was asked. Don't answer it any more than don't say anything more than what you need to say in order to answer the question. And which is as tricky as it may sound. Like that's bloody tricky, Angela's off screen petting the dog. My two shot is ruined.
He's complaining already. I don't know how to.
So anyway, forget about that dog. I'm just telling them why you're not there. So
temporarily satisfied.
They teach us.
They're like, okay, this is your expert witness who's going to give you really, really, really consequential data analysis because he's the most qualified person to do this. And the consequences of the information that he's providing for you is that one person is going to lose their life. They're going to go to jail.
Right.
Right? It's like couldn't be higher stakes. And who do they find? This guy who isn't even who he says he is. It's like if like all of a sudden like lying on your resume actually matters, right?
Right.
Like you can't it's just shenanigans. And here's the thing. This is why I knew last week. Everybody says that this changed timeline, which obviously they've changed in order to implicate Karen Reed. This is more evidence that she's responsible for something I don't believe she's responsible for.
Right.
I was like, well, the whole case is predicated on her defense is that the prosecutors and the investigators were doing shenanigans. That she's not actually, that's her whole case is I'm innocent, but the reason why it looks like they have a case against me is because they did shenanigans, that they planted light pieces of a tail light that didn't even belong on the scene, that may not even belong to the car.
I mean, the one missing sliver there is that what she contends is that he went into the house.
Yes. What she's saying is, I'm innocent. I didn't do it. The only reason why they are saying I did is because
something happened in the house.
Because their investigators are doing shenanigans. That's why she is tied to this person, to John O'Keefe's death.
Right.
Otherwise, it would be a mystery, right? If they didn't tie her to the death, it would be like, we don't know how he died. Let's look at it. Let's investigate the house he was in front of, for instance.
Right.
Anyway, so her whole defense hinges on they're trying to frame me, and they're doing it by planting evidence or by claiming that evidence exists that doesn't make any sense. So if the defense can show the jury here right in front of you is even more shenanigans.
Yeah.
They change their timeline and they're using somebody who's not even a professional. They're not even the professional that he claims to be.
Right.
In order to do it. That's the shenanigans we're talking about. You know? It's like it doesn't look good for the prosecution.
You, man, you know what's like interesting, like we sit here and we kind of have laughs every now and then even, and we talk about this fucking crazy trial. It is a scary thing that's happening.
Absolutely.
Like this is this woman. There's no way. Like there's no way, in my opinion, there's no way this woman is responsible for that man's passing. There's no way. And that can only mean one other thing. Because it's not like somebody else came along and clipped him. All right? That there's a car out there with more damage to it. That's not, I don't think, realistic in terms of a problem. I guess it could be. They haven't introduced that as a potential. Have they? Or have they? I know the plow theory. There's the plow theory,
yeah.
So it can only mean one other thing, right? Then that is that he walked into that house. Higgins is in that house. Higgins and Karen Reed had been texting back and forth in an inappropriate manner, considering the circumstances, which is that she was dating somebody that Higgins knew.
I think they already began their affair too. I think they were
right. They did meet up because
there
was that moment where he was like, "Let's meet up." Okay, let's meet up. They got a motel or some shit.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Presumably they weren't playing backgammon.
Yeah, and I guess Higgins is the one who invited him over to that house that night.
Cribbage, maybe.
Cribbage. They probably played cribbage.
Uno.
That's true.
It's gonna be Uno. It's gonna be Uno.
They just she invited him over to talk about the latest chapter that they read in their Two Real Hollywood Memoir book club.
I think that in some form or fashion, Higgins and O'Keefe clashed in that house moments after he got there. Just moments after he got there. The assault lasted long enough to end his life. I think that in all likelihood, it was an accidental death.
His phone tracked climbing stairs.
Yeah. And they redid the basement cement floor. They redid the basement cement floor.
Weird.
And part of the reason why that might be the case is you don't know where he hit his head. You don't know how much blood was lost. We do see on his clothing a tremendous amount of blood in a very peculiar place when you want to listen to the prosecutor's story about what they say happened, because I don't know how all the blood
they don't have an explanation
gets down the front of his shirt if he's not standing or leaning forward where gravity would be able to do something like that. Because if he's laying on his back or he's laying on his front, which is where they found him, on his front, then the blood isn't going to pour down unless it pooled. And by the way, when you see the blood, it looks like a V-neck. It doesn't look like it was sitting in a pool. You know what I mean?
I have to find this. I'll show you tomorrow. But somebody came up with like a little illustration about what they think happened.
Yeah.
It was they thought the German Shepherd lunged at his right side, and he fell back and like hit his head on one of those workout benches or something.
Right.
And that he fell into a seated position, and the blood from his wounds is how that ended up down the front of his shirt.
Huh.
But obviously there's no evidence because nobody ever went into that house to check. It's so crazy.
Isn't that fucking crazy?
It's so crazy.
A
Like,
cop is dead.
Like they're not gonna. His family's not gonna get justice because they didn't do an
Never.
investigation.
No. The murderers are on the stand testifying against the defendant. That's my opinion. By the way, I don't know if I think most of you guys were here on Friday, and on YouTube we had a guy. I'm going to say he was a guy, Cosmic Urgency, and he said, you got to watch. He's praising Scott Bloom. Angela,
The nerve of that guy.
Angela thinks it was Scott Bloom.
The nerve of that guy to demand that we watch that movie, and then he's not even here today.
So we did. We watched the movie. He was like, "It's all you got to do it for the podcast." He called it like one of his favorite.
He said it was a classic of like a camp horror, like B movie. It's a Roger Corman movie. It's so bad.
Well, we're about to watch the trailer.
You're gonna put the trailer on?
Oh yeah.
I bet it's so much worse.
This is going to be the official. Yeah, we're going to put up the official. So this is just we're going to take a little interlude since, or do you want to wait? Should we keep talking about this and then I'll get that interlude later? What do you say, Angela? You decide.
Well, Delicate's in the chat talking about how head injuries bleed.
Yeah, let's talk.
But that's okay. You can segue.
No. We'll I've queued it up. We'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, dude. Okay, so yeah, the pooling would be as if he was lying down. So the pooling wouldn't be a V-neck of blood, which is what we see. We see the blood going from like swelling here.
Part of the reason why his T-shirt evidence is so weird looking is because he was underneath snow, so it all got soaked. His shirt got soaked.
But if he's laying flat in the blood, the source of blood is from the back of his head.
I'm not saying anything differently.
It's coming down like this. It's not going to stream down and then go down his front. It's going to stream over his face. It's going to go down his.
It's also not going to stream. His blood isn't going to stream.
Well, I don't know. I'll say this about that. My only head injury that produced blood, it was a fantastic amount of blood. Like it was on a Halloween. How about that? My brother choked me. I mentioned this. He had me by the neck. I don't know how old it was. Maybe
where was your
15. Cut? The back of my head, almost exactly where his is.
Oh.
So he had me by the neck. He threw me. My head hit the wall, and it split open. And I got to my hands and knees.
And it was all on the floor.
Oh. My God.
Oh, so
and I got about like 10 or 12 stitches.
That's a really good example because
God.
You and John O'Keefe were both drunk.
It was, and yes, I was hammered, and it was a horror show. Like literally, it was a Halloween. People were gasping, like, "Oh my God!" It was like, it was poured everywhere. Yeah, and I had to go to the hospital.
Where was it, Dale?
Where was the wound?
Where was John O'Keefe's blood pool?
And by the way, I was standing when it was bleeding, and it all went down in a V, and it was from the back of my neck, so it just streamed down my neck, and then kind of just went around my neck, and kind of just
amazing,
and down my back. I was so covered in blood, it was insane. And it was like I when I saw his cut, I was like, wow, how did I not die? Like,
okay, so you're saying that this guy got the medical examiner said it was an incapacitating injury, that he would have been knocked out. Mm. And they want us to think that it happened outside and he would have been knocked out and somehow he got blood down the front of his shirt.
Exactly. It doesn't. You can't have
also,
that.
Another thing is Karen Reed, when she showed up, who knows if anybody believes her on the prosecution side, But she said that when she showed up and she found him in the snow, they flipped him over. That's what Jennifer McCabe told the first responders.
Right.
That she flipped him over to get a look at his face so they had access to, for CPR.
And then she found, is that when she saw the glass in his nose?
Yes. So he was face down or on his side at least for her to say.
No, she said face down.
Flipped him over.
The phone was underneath him and he was face down.
Yeah. And so
I don't know how blood gets down into like a V pattern.
No, my thing is how did he get struck in the back of the head where it was so incapacitating that he ends up on the ground? Obviously, there's nothing else out there except for him, Karen Reed's car, and a flagpole.
And it's apparently like really close. Like it sounds close when you say 55 feet. Yeah, okay.
So I'm saying he gets struck. He's down on the ground because if it's incapacitating, he's not on his feet. So how did he end up on his face?
Well, so, I told you about how I got up. Like, look, so they say incapacitated. That doesn't mean he was. I got up on my knees, hands and knees, and I crawled.
Oh. So he could have crawled.
Yeah. Is that consistent with the green on his... I crawled. I mean, it's such a stupid comparison. I mean...
It could have been. I mean, he could have, shuffled. You get a hit in the head real bad, you're going to scoot around. The only way there's only two ways, right? And that's either that he staggered, stumbled, or... Just pull out the thesaurus.
or was sort of thrust into this position that he ended up in.
What?
So that would be like he gets thrust into the flagpole, he hits his head, and then goes right forward. Yeah. But that's not where he was found, right?
No, it's not where he was found. Or he hit his head on the flagpole, which is like crazy aim, right? Especially, it's a horizontal wound.
Bad luck happens.
On a vertical
Yeah, that's the
pole.
other thing that was weird. I was like, that cut is weird.
It's not going to happen that way.
It's a melon, so they break in different ways.
Yeah, there's not even like a stone wall or anything out there, like the parking meters or anything that he could have struck. It was like this very vertical thing that he couldn't have struck to make a horizontal wound, but whatever. And then, so he could have staggered away, I guess.
He could have staggered away, I guess. But then well, I guess this was before the snow. That's the only thing that makes sense is that he staggered away because...
His shoe was found 10 or 15 feet away from him. And so was the glass pieces. I mean, the taillight pieces.
We're 10 feet away from him.
Yeah, but I don't know if the shoe and the glass and the taillight pieces were found in the same spot.
Well, you wouldn't know. You know why you wouldn't know?
Because they didn't measure.
Because they didn't fucking measure. Because they didn't even take pictures.
I know.
They collected evidence without even taking pictures.
I know.
Forensic evidence that could tell the fucking story about what happened. Yeah. Come on.
Erica Rydholm says, so then how did the fall backward cause the head injury?
Exactly.
I don't know, man. It doesn't add up. I can think of a dozen ways for that to have happened inside a house, especially if he's... And even more ways if he's getting his ass kicked by a bunch of cops that are used to kicking ass. I mean, these guys are Higgins was his former military. These guys know how to beat people up.
There's so many problems because the injury just doesn't make sense. It can't make sense. I can't make sense of the injury. I got hit by a car. I have these two examples, oddly enough, because I got hit by a car, and I know that car was going.
I feel like I'm a little overwhelmed because I've known you for so long, and I didn't know about all of this stuff.
It hadn't come up.
You just don't talk about. I would be telling people. I'd be like that captain in Jaws, where I'm just want to hear a story about my scar.
Well, I got hit by a car, but that was going at least 25 miles an hour, and I hit the windshield of it. So there's that, and I bounced, and fuck did I bounce? I bounced so far. And probably, I bet you it was 20 feet in front of that car, but maybe it wasn't as much. And it's just my memory because it was
How fast do you think the car was going?
At least 30 miles an hour.
Yeah. So they said that Karen Reed's.
It was a 35 mile an hour zone, and I don't believe he was going under the speed limit.
They said that Karen Reed backed up at 25, at the highest speed was 25 miles an hour. Man, it just doesn't add up.
25 miles. The only way that kills a guy is if he somehow gets run over, not hit, but run over, and then unlucky, the tire breaks a neck or whatever. You know what I mean? Or his spine breaks or something. He died partly
Delicate's like 25 miles per hour is kind of fast though.
Admittedly, it is fast, and I'm sure that 25 mile an hour impacts have killed people in the past. I'm just saying, I think it's extremely difficult to do, and I think that to end somebody's life, and I think that the nature of the damage, the so-called damage to the car, and I say so-called because I don't find them making a very convincing argument that I don't find it a very convincing argument that the taillight was busted in the manner that they say it was, or that even the shards were as they were.
Other people are saying that if it was busted, it would have been busted in, and there's no taillight remaining inside the housing. And
of course, the arm injuries. There's just so much wrong with the injuries. They're just so. And
also, that he didn't have any. So he didn't have any impact injuries from having been hit by a car. Like nothing. So like I broke ribs in the front, where it attaches to the sternum.
Right.
And it was they were just dislocated, not broken. And when I went to go see the doctor to get it treated, it happened to me in grappling in jiu-jitsu class. And when I went to the doctor, he was like, "Oh, did you get in a car accident?" I was like, "No." And he was like, "Whoa, did you get like tackled?" Because he sees it a lot in football players. And so those are the two common ways that the guy had seen this injury before, was if you get hit by a car, you break your ribs, or if you get tackled in football or something. And so what are the other common injuries that football players get from getting tackled at high speeds? And that's not even 25 miles per hour, right? They get a lot more injured, very obviously.
Yeah,
right?
It's 15, 16, 17 miles an hour.
Yeah, and so they get like broken ribs, they get broken collarbone.
If they didn't have pads, they would have broken bones all over the place, and they would be wildly concussed.
Right. So where do you think that they would be injured? I mean, you're talking about the height of a car,
and all their skeleton, just
like
their entire skeleton.
They know how tall John O'Keefe is, and they know the height.
6'4", 6'3", giant fella.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not a small guy.
And they know the height of the back of her car, and what surface area of her car would have struck his body, and in that place. In those contact spaces, he doesn't have a single broken bone or bruise or anything. That's the evidence I'm looking for. I want to see the evidence on the body, you know?
Yeah, exactly. If you had that head injury, and even if that injury was the injury that was like the fatal moment, but he also had like, whatever, a broken shin, or some kind of broken femur or something.
Yeah, like his knee would have been messed up somehow if a bumper hit him.
It's absolutely.
If I'm on the jury, I'm like, I'm not seeing how the car is even involved. Like, you guys are doing all of this like forensic analysis on the taillight shards, but how is that even fucking relevant if he wasn't struck by a car? His body would tell the story for sure, just like it does.
Well,
it tells a different
Delicate's
story.
saying he could have stumbled, and it sounds like he could have stumbled, and there's no question. As a matter of fact, there's actually today I saw there was on Reddit there was a high speed chase that where I think it might have been Atlanta. Anyway, it was a high speed chase, and this dude just fucking way faster than 25 miles an hour, hitting people. It's all caught on camera. And I look back as soon as it goes by, because it's like it happens in a second, and I look and I see the people that he hit at high speed crawling and walking away.
Yes,
So,
I know he could have crawled.
Absolutely.
I get that. And maybe he did inside that house.
Right.
Because that's where he was hit. It's
I think so.
He just wasn't struck by a car.
Why didn't they go in the house? Why wouldn't they even go in to check to make sure everybody's okay? This is the part that just can never add up for me when you have a dead cop. Like, we know how police react to police dying. We know how that is. That is no secret anywhere in America. We know it's the same anywhere there's a police force. I mean, we know, dude. I mean, the amount of attention that gets alone in every single market in America, in every single city in America. If a cop dies, the cops are big about it. And we know this. We know this is fact. So they just rolled up to a dead cop, and they were just like willing to take whatever story that just unfolded. even though his face is battered, or appears battered.
Well, I don't know, man. There's a lot of problems. So in the Canton Police Department, this isn't evidence in the trial. The jury's never going to hear about this, but they just recently had a cop murder a woman in her apartment, and then they tried to cover up for him. They tried to they tried to bury it as if it was a suicide.
Yeah, because not just in Canton, but really everywhere.
And there were
corruption is real.
three police officers charged with various responsibility in that crime. So, I mean, it might not be like, they might all be a bunch of bad apples. I'm just saying.
It's true. It's fucking true. Especially like, here's the other situation. When they talked about like it being a small cop, a small station, a small precinct, like 45 or something.
45 people is what they said.
Yeah. And, that is not a lot at all.
Hey, Tanner's here.
Tanner.
On TikTok.
Oh my God. What's up, Tanner? We were thinking about you. In fact, I was thinking about you when I was licking my my woes of my Phillies woes.
Nadine said, "Hey, Tanner."
Hey, Tanner.
That's so great.
Nadine bounced out of the...
So Tanner is talking about the latest SNL episode, and we haven't watched it yet. But, so I don't want to spoil anything. But it was pretty funny.
About what?
He said that, I guess it's not a spoiler. He said that Colin Jost kissed his wife, Scarlett Johansson. So he says that it's going to be his last show as a cast member, is what he's saying. I don't know. Who knows?
He's quitting the show?
I don't know. Maybe.
Because Scarlett Johansson kissed somebody?
He's like, no, because they kissed like it was a big goodbye or something. I don't know. You know what? I'm here for the sketch comedy. That's what I'm here for.
Exactly. See, Erica's saying the smaller the department, the worse it is. It makes more sense because that's going to be the more pressure to shut your mouth. The club is smaller and you're going to be more willing to do whatever you got to do to get in it. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Tanner wasn't on YouTube for our first ever
the inaugural
no
episode?
Notes.
Oh. Yeah, well that's okay. I think
it was a good no notes. It's hard because it speaks about it, but there's so many issues about that and this that I wanted to bring up. One of the things that I thought was wild about it was that the comedian bleeped out saying the Middle Eastern country that is in so much distress right now.
I know.
He bleeped that out, and the first comment on his, because this came off of his Reddit, his Reddit channel or whatever, and the first comment on there was like, "How about that? He had to bleep out the P word in order to get put in." So there's a whole bunch about that joke that I love because he's first of all putting it out there, which is great. He's also calling out the hypocrisy of it all immediately. He's like, "You're literally bombing the place that is the birthplace of your guy. You're bombing your guy." It's really funny.
It's funny because you feature these.
Jen's here.
I can already foresee it that you feature these things that have no notes. We're going to end up having notes.
No, I have notes. It's the whole point of no notes.
We're going to have notes.
No, that's the point of no notes. Is I don't want to just like put up masterpieces. I want to put up things that are like that are provocative. Jerry Meadows is calling. I must decline Jerry.
You should just put him on the podcast.
There's so many. Eventually, I'm just going to be like, "Hi, Jerry." I'm just going to dial him up. But the problem is, you can't. First of all, you never know what's going to come out of Jerry Meadows' mouth.
Jerry Meadows does have loose lips.
You never know what will come out of his mouth.
Dale and I have had conversations.
It's not just that he's loose lips. It's just that I don't think you just don't know what he'll say. Like he might say the most dastardly.
I know.
Dastardly.
He is a gossip. It's true.
It's not just gossip. Yes, the producer of Don's Palm Jet. He says things like he'll just say like some of the crazy shit will just come out of his mouth. Like the self-deprecating things he can say are so offensive to everybody that lives. And he's talking about his own self. I can't repeat them because honestly, like people could fucking hunt that footage down and lasso me around the neck for it. It's that bad. So you can never put him live because you just never. It's not like he's like a drunk who's just gonna like spill something. But anyway, Jerry's wonderful in every way. I am
Okay.
proud to call him my friend, and I love
So are
him
we still
dearly.
talking about the Karen Reed retrial?
I believe we are. Yes, I believe we were.
Okay. When you're through, don't forget to change your Chiron.
Oh yeah, well, I won't.
Because we have some Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni lawsuit news.
Okay, well, before we get into the lively lawsuit news, I am gonna. So this person who Angela highly suspects was Scott Bloom
Yeah.
showed
'Cause
up for 2 days.
He was like, first of all, would you ever be friends with Scott Bloom again? And then next he was like, do you have like a favorite Scott Bloom movie?
Yeah, and then he's like praising Scott Bloom, and then he said that
I was
Scott
like,
Bloom is a god.
What's
to
up,
him.
Scott Bloom?
And they said that Scott Bloom was a god to him because Scott Bloom was in the 1986 movie The Stuff.
It's his biggest role. He like
It
carried that
is
movie.
his biggest role. And he got an introducing credit.
What do you think? Was he like 7 years old or something?
An introducing credit, by the way,
How
is
old do
a
you think
big
he
deal.
was?
Yeah, no. He's 86, right? So he was he 3 years younger than me or 4 years younger than me, maybe?
What? He was
Tops 5 years younger than me.
he was a teenager.
So he was
in that?
11 then.
Oh.
At the youngest, he was 11. At the latest, he was 13. By the way, him and RD friends at that time. They were friends.
It's so weird.
They knew each other from they were both New York actors, so they knew each other from. Well, Janet, head over to the YouTube channel if you want to see this trailer, because this is Scott Bloom in 1986 in the movie Stuff, and so this guy shows up that Angela is convinced must have been Scott Bloom, and his name was Cosmic Urgency, and he just goes off and he says, and then he basically convinces us to watch this movie. And it turns out that it's free on YouTube, and I meant to put the link in the description, so I'll
Dale,
try to get that in.
You gotta
for
take
the,
your Chiron down.
I will. I got to do that. So I'll try to get that done for the the replay or whatever. I'll try to put the description because honestly, if you like B horror movies, this was fucking great.
Yes.
It
had the least scary monster ever.
Ever. Absolutely zero
It's basically
scare.
like the-
no fear ever once.
Yeah, and
Nothing
it's
to be
never
afraid of.
defined. Like, is it an alien? Is it a?
Don't know
it's
what
weird-
it is. It's just. Well, you'll see.
It's just.
All right, let me play the trailer. Let's just go ahead and roll the fucking trailer. YouTube, you'll be able, or TikTok, you'll be able to hear the trailer, but if you're on YouTube, you will be able to see the trailer. Here it goes. The Stuff, guys. You guys, this is free on YouTube right now. You don't have to rent it.
The stuff is here now. Great new day sensation. Light and free now. To elevation. Enough is never enough. Enough is never enough of the stuff.
The stuff, the taste that makes you hungry for more. The stuff, taste
is a horror movie
that
trailer.
delivers.
We interrupt this presentation with the following urgent message.
Tonight, America is in grave danger. We are under alien attack by a popular
It's an
dessert
alien.
known as the stuff.
It is an alien.
Here, Jason, take some.
No,
There's Scott.
don't eat that.
Scott Bloom, bro. I
There
watched the
is
Scott Bloom movie this week.
something alive in there.
Tasty.
There's something alive in yogurt. It's called
There's some-
benign bacteria.
If the stuff is in your house, do not eat it. If you have it on your shelves, do not sell it.
Well, this sound design
If
is
you
way better.
distribute this material, close your doors, make no more sales.
Better than the movie.
Enough. It's never enough.
Come on, you know you want that. There it is, man. We watched.
Why is it scary?
It's not. It's the most not scary movie I've ever seen
It's
in
the
my life.
strangest.
That was Scott Bloom's debut, and it Don's Plum was his the next movie that he had like the most opportunity for.
I was really delighted to see Michael Moriarty because he's one of my favorite this genre film. He acts like the same director did Q the Winged Serpent, which was one of my favorite monster movies when I was a kid.
I have to see
it's so great.
Yeah.
What I love about Michael Moriarty is he's in these scary movies, but he's constantly playing the character of like a really cool jazz musician who's just like totally unaffected. Like he's just a cool cat in everything that he does. And in Q the Winged Serpent, he gets to play it kind of close to home. Like he actually does play piano in the movie, and he's really good. He like scats at the piano. Yeah. But in this one, it just made no fucking sense at all. The
movie's great because Erica says, honestly, this looks kind of great. And it is great. I mean, it is so fucking bad. It is the Best of B movies I think I've ever seen. It's like way up there, but it's fucking hilarious.
Did you like their practical effects?
I mean, what define like? Like, did I like them because they were so bad? Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought that their practical like monster makeup. I thought that they're like
with the marshmallow or
no, like the mannequins with
it's like fucking flour.
The weird like zombie mannequins that they
like
made.
when the mouth opens wide.
Yes.
They showed a clip of it at the end of the trailer.
Okay, I thought those were rad. They didn't look real, but they were rad.
They're hilarious.
They're super well done.
I like that like fucking white little foamy shit that like starts like a what is that? The uvula?
Yeah.
It's like,
I also really liked how much they set fire to things in this movie, which it's a lot of great production value when you set fire to stuff.
Like I have beefs with lots of movies. One of my beefs with one of the M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong. I don't know how to say his whole name, so I call him that.
Dale.
It's not fair. It's not nice. Shyamalama.
That's rude.
I just. Okay. Well, we can pick on me.
I don't know how to say it either, but I'm not gonna.
Shyamalama. I don't know.
Shyamalan.
He made
M. Night is what people usually call him. When
so
they
M. Night made Signs. Mm-hmm. And it's the stupidest. It's one of the stupidest movies ever.
Oh, I know. The premise is so fucking frustrating.
Because like literally, it's like supposed to be about aliens who are obviously intelligent enough to build intergalactic travel, to create intergalactic travel. And what do? They go to the one place that's literally covered in the thing that kills them.
I think it was
water.
It was such a great movie.
And this movie is fire.
It reminded me of the most of a Stephen King novel, Signs, by M. Night, because Stephen King is very, very frequently an amazing, amazing, amazing book until some monster reveal at the end and some explanation at the end that makes it so disappointing.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what that movie was, because it was perfect all the way until somebody like reveals, oh, it's water. And you're like, wait a minute. What are they doing on Earth if water kills them?
People are asking about Jerry, so let me clear something up. No, Jerry doesn't call me every day, though he is calling me these days very frequently because Jerry's working very hard on trying to sell the rights to my book. If I'm going to be straightforward.
Stefan said, also, every time I join your live, Jerry Metters calls you immediately.
Yeah.
Like you conjure him.
You're the... So, yeah, that's pretty funny.
Oh, Stefan also said the live looks better today, by the way. Said you're really killing it.
Thank you. I'm working hard on it. We're going to do these like... Yeah, I'm working hard on it, man. I really love this. I want to share this time with you guys in a way that I hope is meaningful and fun. And I want to sort of stay true to what we've been doing on TikTok for a half a year and or nearly half a year. And yeah, I'm thrilled with it. And I'm glad you're digging what we're doing. It's going to just keep changing. So I appreciate your patience because I'm not even like going to work hard on promoting it until I know I got my audio right, which I've been. There's a lot of moving parts to putting one of these things together on YouTube. I was quite surprised by because I've never done before. But, every time I set up like this 2-shot that's on the screen now, there's like my sources. I have like 8 sources in there just to be functional. And it's not like as easy as like when you say change out the icon. Like there's like 4 clicks for me to do that. It takes a minute. But I love it. It's really cool. Anyway, I won't bore you with that shit. I'm trying to make this as fun experience as possible, both visually and of course, we like hanging out with you guys. So we're just talking shit all the time. I know I still do a little audio peeking, but I'm working on the audio too. We're getting there. We are getting there. So, saw the new Cage movie, Trippy as Hell. Which is that? What's it called? I'll play the trailer for everyone if you want. What's it called?
Tanner wants to know where can I find a copy of The Long Walk? I need to read it.
I'll send it to you.
Listen,
I'll send it to you.
This you'll send
why
a
not?
copy of The Long Walk to
Yeah, we'll have
Tanner?
it.
My copy of The Long Walk?
I'll get you another one.
No. Tanner can find one. They're everywhere. You just
Doesn't this remind you of like when you're kids and you're like, and your mom stops you from giving something to your friend? Did it ever happen to you?
No.
That happened to me. You're not giving that. What do you mean? I gave it to Jamie. No, you get it back. You know, that's never happened to you? You had to go get it back?
No.
Oh, fuck. Well, I give away everything. Always have.
I have loaned stuff and been pretty bummed that I never got it back.
The guy gives away everything.
Anywho, this is a Long Walk fan channel. This is what's where you don't know.
You definitely want to read it before you watch it.
Yeah.
Because
if you can't find,
even if the movie is a great adaptation,
it's going to be good.
It's going to be fucking great. But I mean, even if it's a great adaptation, the book is going to be an entirely different experience, undoubtedly. That's always true for the most part. But I'm saying even like in the way that Misery was, for example, where like they're both closely related in terms of what they deliver, but the way in which they're executed is so different. Like the book, deeply psychological, whereas the movie is like just pure tension, pure visceral tension.
Will you just grab that and hold it up? Because I think
what are we talking about?
The Long Walk is right behind you.
Oh, you put it back?
Yes. Also, when I first read The Long Walk, it was in a collection of 4 of Stephen King's Bachman books when he was Richard Bachman.
Ladies and gentlemen,
so you can find it in that way.
Stephen King
too.
And The Long Walk.
Yeah.
Oh, this book's fun. It's so fun. It's kind of it's almost a ridiculous premise, but it's.
But there it is in mass market paperback, so you can find it. It's everywhere. It's probably super cheap.
Probably.
Like all those others. I think we probably paid like 50 cents for each of those.
It's a Lionsgate movie, The Surfer. All right, you guys want to see what Stefan saw tonight? He called it a trippy movie. It's called The Surfer. You guys want to see it? Let's do it. Let's have fun. Let's see. Here it goes.
I have that song stuck in my head.
I'm going to take it out.
The jingle from from the stuff.
It's so bad.
I know.
All right, guys, here it is. This is the Lionsgate's The Surfer. Roadside attractions. I can tell you about them.
You can't stop a wave. Born in a storm, way out to sea. Pure energy. And it's all building to this breaking point.
Hey! Locals only!
I grew up here.
Don't live here. Don't surf here.
Hey, Dad.
It's okay. You're scaring my boy.
Deliveries.
Now. No need for all this fuss. Listen to me, brother. I know it's smart to lose space in front of your boy, but you gotta know when to back down, or it could get a whole lot worse.
This is a special place for us. It was magic here when I was your age. My old house is finally for sale, and I'm buying it.
Just want to go home now.
Wake up.
Locals only. Don't live here, don't surf here.
I'm not surfing. There's a view for locals only as well. Hey! Hey!
Sorry, but when
Like engines.
is something gonna
You've
happen?
got to release a little steam now and then, or you'll blow up.
That's my board, and I want it back.
Listen, mate, I think you've been out in the sun too long.
No, my father gave me that board.
I can tell you myself, that old board's been up there for as long as I can remember.
She's a beaut, isn't she?
I'm not trying to be cruel. You don't belong here anymore.
All I want is to take my son surfing.
Don't get yourself down. Before you can have everything, you have to experience nothing.
What?
Pathetic.
That's a good one.
I think that looks awesome.
Okay, here's the pitch. Surfers, but scary. Huh? Huh?
Actually, it's kind of like what do they call those? Like those horror films, like the Liv Tyler one, where they go into the house.
Yes.
It's kind of like that,
Like
but
The
it's a
Strangers?
beach. Yeah, no, but that's a genre. Do you know what that genre is?
Like home invasion genre, right?
Yeah, it's like home invasion. That's it. It's kind of like a home invasion, but it's like
Here's the pitch.
But it's a beach
Home invasion.
on a beach.
Huh?
Home invasion. It's like strangers on a beach, and they surf.
And there's surfers.
And you get like classic dumb B movie lines like, "I just want my son to be able to surf."
No, but if you say it like Nick Cage, you got to say it really flat.
I don't know how to do it.
I just want my son to surf.
I just want my son to be able to surf.
Like, I love him, but man,
What's up, Guilty Angel? Good to see you.
it's like he's on pills or something. It's always super flat.
Guilty Angel just said hello from the YouTube channel, Angel.
What's up? Stefan said, I love that you're both massive Stephen King fans.
I love that you're a massive Stephen King fan, Stefan.
I'm enough of a fan of Stephen King that I bitch about him all the time.
Yeah, I'm
like, I hate his endings. His endings are stupid all the time, but I love his books.
all the time. Most of them. I haven't read all of his books, but I've read like half of them.
Mm-hmm. There's so many. Since I stopped, there's like another 20 books or something. I can't keep up. I don't know how anybody does.
I just stopped reading them for a few years, and I'm suddenly like, what? But yeah, I've read like 30 or 35 of his books, I think.
Guilty Angel's asking, any Squid Game fans here?
I haven't. I would like to check it out. I haven't checked it out yet. It's Netflix, right?
Yeah, well, so Squid Game is just another one of those competition, like, for your life shows, right? Like a...
but it's like
Hunger Games.
Right. But it's
Squid
fiction,
Game.
right? It's fiction, obviously. Oh, okay, yeah.
It's fiction, yeah.
Obviously.
If you like Squid Game, I really, really recommend that you watch... I don't remember if it's Korean or Japanese, but Battle Royale was like the first and best... Maybe not the first.
No, I think
but
Running
definitely...
Game was probably the first.
Huh?
Running Game?
Running Man?
Running Man, I mean.
Running Man was another one.
Speaking of Stephen King.
Two of his Bachman books were like this. The Long Walk is going to be awesome, but before you watch The Long Walk or read the book, you should definitely watch Battle Royale is so, so, so good.
It is.
It's one of Quentin Tarantino's favorite movies. It's so good.
It is.
I think his character... do you remember in Kill Bill, he had that one like assassin character who had the big what is that chain with a ball at the end of it? What's that weapon called?
I should know this because I play video games.
Anyway, she was in a little schoolgirl, like Japanese schoolgirl outfit, and she had the big chain, that's the stick with a chain and a spiked ball, and that's how she killed people.
Mace.
Mace.
No, is that
yes,
a mace?
A mace. That's what it is. That's the word.
No. A mace is not that.
Mm-hmm.
No.
That's a mace.
It isn't. A mace is a single, like, I just fought with a mace the other day. A mace in my video game. But a mace is not a ball and chain.
A chain with a ball at the
No,
end.
that's not a mace. A mace is like a sword, but with a ball at the end of it, with a spike on it. That's a mace.
Oh, it doesn't have a chain.
Doesn't have a chain.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, anyway.
Flail.
A flail.
A fucking flail.
Thank you.
Nadine, thank you. It's
anyway,
a
so
flail.
that character in Kill Bill was based somewhat from the girls in Battle Royale.
It was Nadine's husband that knew that, by the way. She's clarifying. She's like, I just want to clarify. I don't know what a flail is.
Thank you, Nadine's husband.
I've never used a flail. I first thought it was a dessert.
Oh, this flail is delicious.
This
Have you had this flail?
is off the chain.
My compliments to the chef of the flail.
I said this flail is off the chain, and I should have gotten wild.
Bravo. Bravissimo.
Bravissimo.
Stefan said, I don't want a weapon splain, but a flail is the one on the chain, I think.
I don't want a weapons plane.
That's hilarious.
It is a flail. That is it. Did we talk about at all? I have a couple more headlines that I wanted to cover. Did we talk at all about Nicole Kidman working with 20? This is the difference between what Baldoni is, a fucking fraud, and Nicole Kidman, who actually does something with her fucking fame. Nicole Kidman has now worked with 27 women directors in 8 years. In 8 years, 27 women directors. And
That means she literally does nothing else.
That's right.
With her life.
Her entire focus is on emboldening and elevating women.
Amazing.
In the space. This is what Baldoni said he wanted to fucking do. This is somebody who actually does it. 8 years in, 27 women directors she's worked with, and she's continuing. She's urging financial institutions and mentors to invest in unknown female filmmakers and take the fucking risk. And I got goosebumps. I get goosebumps because that's what it means to fucking advocate for somebody, for anybody, for any group of people. This is not what fucking Justin Baldoni did. And I wonder how many of the 27 women directors in 8 years that she worked with, I wonder how many of them she ended up in a lawsuit with. I wonder how many of them she tried to steal their movies from. Like, it's just fucking dumb. The whole fucking Baldoni thing is dumb. But I'm really proud of Nicole Kidman. She's just brilliant, and I love what she's doing. And it's a funny thing. It's like, there was this really funny bit that I saw about the WNBA. And it was like some dude talking about how his wife was like, if you really supported women, you'd watch the WNBA. And he was like, you would fucking watch the WNBA if you fucking... And then he went on this whole like tangent about how it was really smart, because this guy was like, it's not up to me. He's like, I watch the sports I watch. He's like, the reason the WNBA was made was to bring women to the sport. Go watch it yourself, you know? But it was just interesting because it was this whole like, don't expect to be saved situation. And I think this is kind of what's been, you know, the thing that's emboldened me most in my life right now is that I'm not waiting for Leonardo DiCaprio to come and apologize anymore. I'm not waiting for him to finally come to his fucking senses. I'm not waiting for the guilt to finally overtake Tobey Maguire, to realize the terrible damage he's done over 3 decades to my life. I'm not waiting for anything anymore. I'm taking control of it. And what Nicole Kidman is doing is not only advocating for women, but she's showing women how to fucking do it. And that's what's really exciting.
On this subject, I just found there was this. It reminded me of this video a few years ago where they do, you know, before the award season, they'll put all the nominees and a bunch of other, or they'll like put together actors or put together directors around a round table and they all talk.
Yeah.
I think Variety does it. I think Vanity Fair does it.
It's like a thing, yeah. A bunch of fucking people do it.
Anyway, this excerpt.
We should do it. We'll do it. We'll have it. We'll get a table. We'll make it round.
We'll make it round. So
with a fucking saw, making my table round.
These actors, these female actresses, right? They were sitting around, and the topic went on to like complaining about how they, you know, it's tough to find good roles for women that aren't just like, you know, very stereotypical. And then Kirsten Dunst kind of just like killed the conversation where she was like, I mean, I've worked with so many female directors, and I think it's just up to us actresses to give opportunities to first-time directors. You just got to find it. She's like, what are you guys complaining about? Yeah, no, just work with women actors. Yeah. I mean, with women directors.
It takes that much. Look.
And this person said this, commenter, they said, one thing about Nicole Kidman that I'll always respect is that she actually put her money where her mouth is and sought out female directors to work with. She's made a conscious decision to work on at least one female-directed project each year, and will definitely have helped increase the number of women behind the camera in Hollywood. Just having a legend like Kidman working on your film will have producers and studios pay attention to your work. And this reply said, I don't think it's a coincidence that Nicole Kidman and Kirsten Dunst have both been putting out the best, most engaging work of their careers.
It's not. It's high time.
I mean, I don't know if that's true.
It doesn't matter, right? What matters is that they're putting out great and beautiful and compelling work. And you know what? I say fucking go for it and absolutely fucking call them the best work of their careers, even if it's not. Like pump this thing all the way up, because this is, like I said, it's not just that Nicole Kidman is taking action. It's that she's showing people how to do it. And I think that's one of the most important things. It's like, you know, what I was about to say is that you don't get movies, greenlit in Hollywood unless you get stars. And so the stars are the ones choosing. That's why I have the beef that I have with Leo. That's why I bring it up in the book, you know, specific to the way that he's treated independent films, specific to the way that he's treated movies in general, because all that guy has done is drain movies, you know, drain the industry for his own wealth so that he could build environmental catastrophes like his fucking diamond foundry in Spain. So by the way, guys, weird shit. So Jerry Meadows called, right? One of the reasons why Jerry Meadows called is because the other day, 11 days ago or something, CNN did this piece, and it was on actors who had fled, or famous people, celebrities who had fled the United States after Diddy got arrested. And Leo was on the list because he went to Italy. Do you remember that?
Everybody wanted to make a big deal of it. I'm like, dude is constantly like on a yacht someplace. He's not fleeing. Dude's on vacation.
So they were doing the same thing everybody was doing back then, which was like this
they're
whole
like, oh, they're worried
because there's no extradition.
Right.
Italy has no extradition because that's where all the mob bosses
They thought he
would
was
go.
going to get extradited.
So they were
nuts.
like, why did he flee to a country like Italy's one of the dude's favorite places? He's an Italian American, and he has a certain affinity for the heritage of being an Italian American, especially after working with Marty Scorsese for all those years. So anyway,
listen, I want him to be in trouble more than anybody, but it's just it's such like fantasy time. It's crazy.
We've digressed, but I've digressed a little. What I'm trying to say is that they're going through the CNN this CNN piece, and they're talking all the shit about Toby, who'd also left apparently around the same time as Leo did, and the commentator, and he Jerry Meadows played it for me because I can't find it on fucking YouTube, but and he can't even send me a link because he's at that age where he's like, I can't find a way to share it. And I'm like, what? And I'm trying to show him, and I get. But the I guess the anchor woman or whatever, she just randomly says, "Don't get Dale Wheatley started about Tobey Maguire. That's all I have to say," or something like that. Just randomly drop my name in the middle of this CNN thing. Isn't that fucking crazy? And so he called me like twice since saying, "I can't get over that happened."
I wonder if he's talking about Kim from Andy Signor's show. Like, does he even know? He might not know that you were.
It didn't sound like him. No, it wasn't Kim. It wasn't. No.
Oh,
I heard it.
You heard it?
Yeah, it wasn't Kim. It wasn't the Andy Signor show. There was no Andy Signor in the segment that he's played.
How weird.
It's a totally different segment. Anyway, isn't that fucking strange? Listen, dude, I think like shit is happening. I really do. I think things are brewing.
I'm bummed you segued away from Nicole Kidman because I had just pulled up her filmography.
We don't have to stay on it. We're ping-ponging here.
Mm-hmm. We can talk about other things too. Didn't you have a list?
I do have a few more things. It's another female celebrity. Sarah Silverman says she feels fucking ignorant for using slurs and blackface in past comedy.
Okay. What?
Yeah. It's the blackface, like, the slurs.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did
thing.
She start the conversation?
No. This is obviously a quote from either an interview or
is
some
somebody
kind of something.
making her like? Did she get criticized and now she has to like say? Why would you?
Well, no, her blackface came out at one point.
Yes, I know, but like, why would you remind everybody? It's such a
well,
weird
I don't
thing.
think because I think it'll follow her for the rest of her career. Anyway.
No, I know, but don't you think it would be really weird if you had like this very, very low point in your career that you constantly got criticized about, and then nobody's talking about it, or you, and all of a sudden you're like, and another thing about that.
It might be that because I don't know the context, so it might be that in the conversation that she was having with the interviewer was like, "You've taken some heat for some things you've done in the past. Ugh. How do you fucking feel about it?" And this came up.
You would never hear me admit that ever again.
No. Well, first of all, I mean, the blackface is ridiculous. I don't know how anybody can do that. But when you take the blackface out of it, as far as slurs go, and the book I talk about, I'm confronted by a woman at DiCaprio's 21st birthday while I'm tripping out on LSD, which now we're going to get banned on TikTok for saying that. And yeah. I think it's hilarious when people are pulling up their past. Like, it's like, you grew. We all grow up. You know what I mean? We're also shedding. Somebody else put in their comments here. I can't remember who it was. And I'm sorry I can't credit you because it was a great comment. But somebody here in the comments said specifically that they're shedding some of their own misogyny that they've been sort of, that they were indoctrinized into as children through their lives and their associations. And this is fucking true. Like, we know this to be true. We know that we're raised in these worlds where, and by people where, we, as we grow and evolve, we learn to, or we at least hope we learn to shed these things. Like my dad said horrible shit about different races of people, right? He was a racist, a born, raised racist. And that shit, now I wasn't a racist, like I would have never considered myself a racist, but I certainly had racially insensitive things to say because I thought they were just common things that were just going on in everyday life. So, I don't know, I just find it weird that she's excusing something like that when it's just like, it's one thing to say like she feels fucking ignorant for using slurs, or it's another thing to say I've evolved as a comedian and I've now learned how to take humor to another level where I don't have to use things like slurs or stupid things I consider now mistakes in my past. You know what I mean?
I'm glad that she called herself ignorant. I think that's the best way to talk about that.
Yeah, I mean it's look, it got
because
me talking.
that's what you're saying. We all did. Like there's definitely some things that like the time that somebody a customer at the espresso bar that I worked at, the coffee shop.
Yeah.
They were hanging out for a long time and they hadn't bought a drink, and my stupid boss was like, you got to go and go up to people and be like, you can't just like sit here, you got to buy something.
Yeah.
And so I went up to this lady and she was like, "Oh, you're just hassling me because I'm black." And I'm like, I mean, I'm hassling you because you haven't bought a drink. Like everybody else around here bought one and you didn't. And so that's why I'm hassling you. But at the time I was so annoyed by it instead of realizing like, oh, right, that is a valid thing. That is a valid complaint because that does happen to this person. And I shouldn't be so insensitive in thinking that that's like an absolutely outlandish thing to say. Like, yes, that would be my first assumption if I was in her shoes too. You know what I mean? So it's like things like this that you don't really know how to react until you learn. And so the way that you reacted before was out of ignorance. I was ignorant. If Sarah Silverman is saying that she was really ignorant, then I think that that's commendable. I don't know why she's bringing it up though, because here we are talking about it when she might prefer that people don't. You know?
Totally. Angela has a beautiful voice, says Guilty Angel. Did I already tell you that?
Well, that's nice.
That was very kind of her to say. She said, she threw one in for me afterwards. She threw me a bone. She was like, you do too, Dale. You don't have to do that. I know Angela's a superior being.
Far superior.
Stefan asks from the YouTube chat, and then maybe you should look over at the TikTok chat, but Stefan asks, he says, as the writer, do you feel like Derek, played by Leo, outgrew his misogyny? I thought about it, so here's a crazy thing about...
that Derek outgrew his misogyny?
Yeah, did Derek outgrow his misogyny?
Oh, like if you were writing a sequel
what do I think happened to Derek?
That's neat.
Well, what's interesting about that is I had these, so over the 3 decades that I lived in this sort of hell of my film being, banned and blocked and all this other stuff, I fantasized because that's what I do. I'm a dreamer. I cannot stop dreaming. I dream every day, and I would often dream about this idea of. So I wanted to take Don's Plum and I wanted to intercut it with all the guys today, sitting around a restaurant,
like a reunion,
talking shit. Not a reunion, just as if they've always been doing it still.
Oh. Just
like nothing has changed except now they don't bring girls and they don't have.
Oh, it's their wives.
It's not even that. It's just them. Oh. Maybe it's just them. Do you know what I mean? Or maybe it is their wives, or maybe it's.
No, but it's true. If they were married, their wives wouldn't continue to do that.
But it would have been.
They'd be like, "You hang out with your boys. I'm busy."
So it would be cutting the 50+ versions of the guys, juxtaposed to the, the 95 stuff, the stuff from 1995. And neat. So I thought this was like one of the dreams I had for Don's Plum. I was like, well, since you fucked it up, maybe our reunion. Maybe Don's Plum's, new cut could be another 3 days of shooting. And so when that happened, I did think about whether or not, what would Derek be? And I kind of imagined him in both ways. I kind of imagined him continuing on with the misogyny, and how that would have decayed his quality of life and his appeal and, or otherwise, but my instinct would be to say that it was degrading to his degrading to his personality and his appeal. But then there was the other more redeeming character, And I thought about that. I thought about him.
Where he went to therapy.
Where he got it straight, where he realized the error of his ways. I don't know. It's a really great question, but it's a question I'd rather answer on a set. It'd be interesting to like try to like cast Derek now as not DiCaprio and do it anyway, if that's even possible. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll get my AI going. We'll get that artificial intelligence going, and we'll just do it that way. Eh?
No, you won't.
No, we fucking won't.
Jenna wants to know on TikTok, was Leo a good dancer?
No.
You want to think about it?
No. Not a good dancer.
That was a pretty fast answer, DiCaprio.
No good dancer.
That's funny.
Glow with Amber is a really nice name. Hello, Glow with Amber. Thank you for that like. Hey, we have 233 likes on TikTok. We are 100% on track for our lowest likes of all time. It must be because you guys didn't get to see the No Notes segment on TikTok. Who was the best posse dancer? Who was the best posse dancer? Who's the best posse dancer?
Of all of your friends.
RD probably.
RD was the best dancer?
Yeah, but RD's kind of trained to be a dancer.
Oh, yeah, because he did Broadway forever.
He did Broadway. So he was probably technically the best dancer. Like he could do a little tap. He would do that too in the house. He'd do like a little move, a little fucking Fred Astaire in the kitchen or whatever. He would do that shit. He would do a little fucking turn. A little shuzzy shubba, whatever. Like a little cane shake or whatever.
Some jazz hands.
Yeah. Probably.
He'd roll his hat down his arm, and you're like, "Where'd you get that hat?"
Glow with Amber is back. So nice to see you as well, Glow with Amber. By the way, we are on YouTube if you want to check out the YouTube channel, because on the YouTube channel you can actually see Angela, and the sound is, I think, probably very much better. Guys, we've had no drop frames on YouTube today. No drop frames.
Success.
Fucking hugely. It's a smooth ass ride.
Stefan says, "Call me crazy, but I think a day will come where that'll be a very real possibility that you get to make more."
Something's happening, Stefan. I don't know what it is. Jerry Metters is busy, dude. He's calling me every day because he's busy. Like he's talking to a lot of people, and it's just interesting that what happens when you get. I don't know. We'll see. The thing I love about Too Real, the book, is that the heart and soul of what we were is in that book. I think you can feel the heart and soul of what it meant to us to be together doing the things we were doing, and it's not perfect, you know what I mean? But like I feel like that it will it'll almost like I think haunt some of us who lived it. Do you know what I mean? The book. I think scenes will haunt them. Certain scenes will haunt them. By the way, people who don't know this, and I'm never gonna I probably am never gonna reveal what they are, but I have like all kinds of Easter eggs throughout the book that speaks directly to them.
Oh.
That only they would know. Like I'll give you one that's an easy one. Leonardo DiCaprio used to have a message for his answering machine.
This is a good one.
And his message was
his incoming or his outgoing message.
Yeah, when you called him,
okay.
Whenever I would give him a call and he wasn't home, there was an answering message. And his answering message was, "Yo, what's up? Leave a message. I'm so thirsty for something besides the water." Like it was just
wait.
The weirdest thing.
Say it again. Do it again.
It's like, hey, I can't do it. It was like this is weird. Like, yo, dude, thank you for calling. I'm thirsty for something besides water. And he just hangs up.
It's so random.
So he at one point in his dialogue in the book says, "God, fuck, I'm thirsty for something besides water." He's gonna know what that is. If he ever reads the book, he'll know what that is, because it was a legendary message, because everybody kept trying to like do it, and they would like say, "Oh, I'm thirsty for whiskey," or like whatever, just stupid responses or whatever.
Well, also he must have just like it must have beeped, and every single voicemail he got was people laughing. I bet that was cute.
Guilty Angel is asking, hypothetically speaking, how much would a new lawsuit cost? I don't think it would cost very much, and I'll tell you. So the truth about the cost of litigation is that nobody knows except the lawyers, and all they want is the most money possible. So
yeah, right.
And so they'll
you can look at Justin Baldoni's lawyers for evidence.
You can look at Leah's
that.
lawyers. Like I don't have those depositions because they're stupid, but they literally like they deposed for like 3 days a girl I dated one night. I went on a date with one night.
She didn't know anything about
anything. And she auditioned for Don's Plum.
Uh-huh.
So she came in and she read. She's actually, in part, depicted in one of the characters.
Oh well, that's how she's relevant. Not because you dated her for one night. Dale, she auditioned for the movie.
No,
so they deposed her
she had
to
nothing
see whether.
To say. Like they interviewed her, bro. Before the deposition, they interviewed her. And they would have known by the interview. She was literally there for 20 minutes. She walked in, she sat down, she interviewed, she left. That was it. There was nothing to it. It was over.
Right. But they were asking her, what were you auditioning for? Were you trying to get a role in a short film or a feature film? Is what they were asking her.
Listen to this fucking attorney over here. Huh? This fucking attorney for Leonardo DiCaprio over here. Love of my life here.
You know, she doesn't know anything though. You know what I mean? That's like
there was no reason to.
Yeah,
I can assure you that after they interviewed her, they would have known that deposing her would have been a waste of time.
Mm-hmm.
And they did. They wasted that time because they got the money. They made the money.
So how much do you think it would cost?
So a litigation, yeah, so I don't think it will cost that much because I think it will settle fucking quickly because the litigation I want, the first litigation I want is to sue to get the rights back to Don's Plum. And the basis for my lawsuit is a violation of fiduciary duty. So we all signed on to Don's Plum to be paid in the back end.
Mm-hmm.
And so that puts the fiduciary duty on the copyright holder to make sure that those contracts are fulfilled. And that never happened, not with Todd Beckman, if he in fact does own it, not with David Stepman, if he's still the owner, or not with any other entity. So if I were the first lawsuit I would file, and believe me, if my life goes
it would just be the first.
It will only be the first. But the first one I would file would be to obtain the rights. And I got to tell you, like there's conversations with lawyers going on right now, so it's exciting in that respect. To sue. Now, if I get the rights to the movie, then the next thing I would do, I would not sue anybody. I would just release the movie in the United States of America. I would just do it and make them sue me.
Let them fucking complain.
And then make them sue me.
Yeah.
I would just make them sue me again. And I would just distribute the movie in America. Fuck you. That's it. But in other news, tomorrow I'm taking the second meeting for the Portland gig. The Portland gig, for people who don't know, is that Angela and I are going to drive to Portland, Oregon, and we're going to put up one of these lives in front of a studio, in front of hopefully an auditorium full of people who will be there to watch Don's Plum, to participate live in the live, and to live in the live, and then to get an autographed book, or inscribed book, I guess. I hate saying that because I feel such a fool.
Dale, you say live in the live, but your podcast has a title now.
Too Real Live.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Too Real Live. No, Too Real Live in Portland. It's going to be Too Real Live in Portland. And then we're going to do like Too Real Live in, hopefully other places. Potentially Los Angeles, certainly, and San Francisco, and these other.
Walla Walla, Washington.
Tanner's, where Tanner lives. I'm coming to Tanner's, and Nadine, right? We're gonna do Atlanta. I'm working with the Plaza. We're gonna make that work. The Plaza's being like, they're being all scared, and it's just like, what are you scared of? If the best thing that can happen to the Plaza is Leonardo DiCaprio suing them, you know. Like literally, it's like,
I know.
What do you think is going to happen if Leonardo DiCaprio sues you from playing a movie in America?
An independent movie theater?
Everyone's going to talk about you. You fucking. What are you talking about?
You should try to make that happen.
I'm offering you free publicity, bro. What are you? Are you crazy?
Yeah.
I don't think I want to get involved. They're going to take my house.
He's not going to sue a movie theater. He would never do that.
Yeah, we're going to stream it. Guilty Angel. We're going to stream the whole thing. I don't know if we're going to stream the movie. We might be able to actually. That would be interesting to stream the movie live. Hey, that's a really good idea, Guilty Angel. Because we could make it like for our live audience, just do a simultaneous screening for the audience and for the live. This is a fucking great idea. Guilty Angel just fucking hit it. You just hit it.
Yeah, but it would be kind
Thank
of like...
you for coming tonight. That's huge. What?
Would that be like, would it be like bootleg?
No, it's going to be, it would be it would be the same print.
From the DCP?
The very same print, yeah.
That's cool.
I love this idea. Holy shit. See, I love this live, bro. Oh, I told these guys we only had two. I said, we're about to get our lowest thing, and now we have 2,500 likes. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. I guess I was hinting toward getting some likes. I guess I didn't want to have the lowest likes we ever had on TikTok. You're so kind to us, Guilty Angel. You're awesome. I have more stuff before we go. Do you have anything else, Angela?
Yeah, I guess we should have started with it, but I sent you a screenshot
I didn't
of the craziest batch of headlines.
Okay, so I will download that, and before we get to that, and we'll make that one of our last things. I have a couple more things. One of my last things is Diddy's team is reportedly working toward a presidential pardon.
Oh my God.
Yeah. This is very credible, by the way.
Yeah, of course it is.
Apparently, Puffy Combs is, bro.
Good for him.
Jiminy people are, the fear, like, of his victims must be just terrified of this.
Of course, yeah.
Can you imagine the fear that you would feel the minute, like, because you're testifying? Doesn't that look like interference in the trial?
Yeah.
That looks like they're interfering with the criminal trial. Because if you're a fucking witness,
yeah,
and you now your enemy is not only Diddy, one of the most powerful,
but the president,
but now the president of the United States on top of that. Is that some fucked up shit, bro?
Yeah, totally.
That is some jury tampering shit, right there in the wide open. And it doesn't even have to be true. Like, that could just be his lawyers being like, well, or his publicist, right? We'll just put this out there. There don't have to be they didn't even have to ask for something like that to be. But if you're about to go on and sit on that stand and tell the world how P. Diddy, because it's a federal, it's a federal trial. Watch, fucking Baldoni's gonna get whatever judgment against him wiped out too. Whatever you got in the comments about that one. I'm obviously not trying to get political. For those who've been around a long time with this live, you guys know we don't really do politics, but I mean,
it's hardly politics anymore, right?
I can't
What even is it anymore?
I can't.
Yeah, Nadine says, did you see the headlines in Diddy and Steve Harvey? I haven't seen that. Nadine says, I'm down the rabbit hole.
Oh, you are? Well, then, yeah, fill us in. I can't believe it. Because that is just, to me, and Ask Grady hasn't been around in a while, I guess we finally grew old for her. But if and when she comes back, if it's still within this time frame, I definitely want to get her opinion. Do we have another lawyer? We had another lawyer. I miss Ask Grady, I'm not going to lie. Okay.
I miss everybody.
I miss everybody, it's true. I even miss Slick. I bring him up every now and then because I'm like, I like that fucker.
Yeah, he was fun.
Why he got all, whatever.
He had all the good trivia.
He did. He had a lot of good trivia. I was like, I even asked him, I was like, hey, do you want to get involved in this live? Like, because I wasn't sure where we were going or what to do. And I was like, hey, do you want to get, And he was like, yeah, I'd like to do that. So thank God that didn't go any further. Know what I mean? I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this. I got to show you guys this. All right. Do you guys know who Octavia Butler is? Do you know who Octavia Butler is?
Yes.
Do you guys know who Octavia Butler is? Could you look up some of her books? Like her. So she's this, like, I haven't actually read her. I'm in the middle. We began an audiobook that we haven't yet finished. That's amazing.
Like every other audiobook we've ever started.
I feel like I just want to read it because it's just too incredible.
She's a American science fiction writer. She was born in 1947. She passed away in 2006.
I wonder why.
Anyway, her most popular book is Parable of the Sower, and it's absolutely it's a like post-apocalyptic book, and it is she's like psychic.
She's like psychic.
Like
yeah.
She is describing things that literally have happened. I think she wrote it in the 90s, early 90s.
It was, yeah, I think it was, yeah. I think you're right. I think it was the early 90s.
Anyway, her writing is amazing. Parable of the Sower, everybody should be reading right now. And Kindred. Kindred is another popular one. Excuse me.
So check out this. This is so cool. I found this on Reddit. But this is Octavia Butler's. This is like, I look at her handwriting. I love her handwriting because my handwriting is fucking god awful, and that always makes me feel like I'm wondering if, like, will I ever be, will
I ever be pretty?
Considered a writer if my writing is so bad. So for you guys on YouTube, for you guys on TikTok, I'm going to read some of this, but she wrote in a notepad, and these are some things she wrote about herself before anyone knew who she was, or if she was, before she ever had been published. She wrote, I shall be, not I will be, not I want to be, but I shall be a best-selling writer. After Imago, each of my books will be on the bestseller list of the LA Times, the New York Times, what's that? PW, I don't know what that is. Washington Post, etc. My novels will go on to the above lists, whether publishers push them hard or not, underlined. Whether I am paid a high advance or not, whether I ever win another award or not. This is my life. I write best-selling novels. My novels go out into the bestseller lists on or shortly after publication. My novels each travel up to the top of the bestseller lists, and they reach the top and they stay on top for months, at least 2. Each of my novels does this. So be it. So be it. I will find the way to do this. So be it. So be it. She achieved all of this. This is all what she did.
Wait, there's more. Down at the bottom.
My book will be read by millions of people. I will buy a beautiful home in an excellent neighborhood. I could cry. I really could cry. Like, I'm having a hard time right now.
She manifested that shit, bro.
I love it.
She did it.
I love it. I went through this, when I went through this. I didn't know I was going through it. I was on a bus. I remember I was on a bus in Winnipeg. I was a kid. God, fuck, I must have been 12 or less, 12 or younger. And I was on this bus, and I had this sort of vision for myself. I had this vision of me achieving these like high goals, really like goals that Winnipeggers could never possibly have or even understand. And it was more of a vision. It wasn't like an aspiration. It wasn't a dream. It was a fucking reality. And I was sitting on the bus at the time, and this wasn't conceit. It wasn't arrogance. It was like this like thing I knew. And I was sitting on the bus, and I was surrounded by all these people, and I was like, wow, you guys don't know who I am, but you're gonna fucking know who I am. Everybody's gonna know who I am. It was the weirdest thing, and it wasn't like, again, it wasn't because it wasn't like, I didn't really have a, and I still don't have like an aspiration for fame. Fame was always something that would be a means to an end. It was never an end means. In fact, I think fame is your sacrifice to, to the glory of art.
You always wanted to be creative.
I always wanted to be known.
Oh.
For my work. I wanted to be a rock star. I wanted to be an athlete. I wanted to be a comedian. I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to be a filmmaker. I wanted to be an author. All of these fucking things. I wanted to be all of these fucking things. And in my head, I would play in my mind over and over again that I was these things, and I would feel them as if they were real. And so you can imagine what I felt like when I got to Hollywood. You can imagine what I felt like when I was sitting across from Leonardo DiCaprio, and you can fucking imagine what I felt like the day he said, "Yeah, okay, I'll make your fucking movie." I was like, oh my God. It was all there in my head all these years, from when I was like 12 or less until that very moment, 12 years later or more. And here, Octavia Butler in this incredible piece, I will help poor people. I will, I can't read it all. Can you? Can you read the pencil stuff?
Well, not on your screen because it's very small. But if you had sent that to me, I'd be able to read it.
My books will be read by millions of people, so be it. So be it. So be it, so to it. Oh, that's what. So be it, so to it. Oh, that's even better.
What?
So be it, so to it. That's what it says. Yeah, it says so be it, so to it.
So do it, maybe?
No, it's there. That's a T.
That's neat.
Yeah. So to it, like get to it. She's like, that's the other thing. The best part about these so-called manifestations, and here we have one, but they're not centered around somebody sitting on a couch stimulating something in their brain, and then, chewing on their Cheetos and watching, the next episode of whatever it is they're binging that week, right? These are fucking people who are sitting down and working and doing the 4 to 6 hours a day in front of that book. Or that dream.
Yeah, there was I think Melissa Gilbert wrote about it in her book Big Magic, where she's talking about the nature of genius and creativity and all of the, there's a lot of mythology, a lot of like centuries of history of people that believe that any brilliant work comes from without, and that you're just simply channeling it.
Yes.
And so it wasn't until very recently that we all just decided that we are geniuses, because for centuries before it was that you have a genius who communicates through you.
Right.
But her whole thing was like
the daimon, your higher self, a bunch of fucking
exactly. Names. What she was saying that she learned from a lot of the people that know about this mythology is that she was saying that they will depart if you're not doing the work. That the only true way to know whether you're actually going to be a worthy conduit for this genius to come through for you is if you actually sit down and prove to this whatever higher power or, you know, angel or whatever being that you're worthy of the effort, you know? Like, because they're the whole, you know, the myth is that like this genius wants this piece of art to come from the ether and to be brought into life.
Or you could just say that the universe itself in some way, right? The universe wants this. It's like a lot
so
of,
it's going to choose a conduit.
It's like the musicians who are like, I'm the one who just got it.
Right. They're like this whole song just came to me fully formed.
They literally, like, there are so many musicians who literally believe that the songs were written and that they were like, I was just the one who got it. Because they're prepared. They've got they've done the prep. They've done the work. This is interesting because when you think about the telepathy tapes, this shit fits in like a puzzle piece.
Yeah.
Right?
There's a lot of people that report that they feel like they're, instead of creating something new, they're remembering it like it actually already exists. And so their process of creating it just feels more like they're remembering what it was as if it already existed. But anyway, her thing is like, she's like, you have to be worthy. You have to be somebody who's a hard worker in order for the genius to recognize you as being worthy of having this thing come through you into being.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's, because you got your Mozarts and you got your Michael Jacksons, right? Like, to me, Michael Jackson and Mozart are just equals in genius. To me, they're absolute equals. And the reason I say that isn't because of necessarily what they produced, even though they both in their own right produced absolute genius work, but that they were both like wildly, uncannily fucking talented before they were 12. Like, they were stupid talented. And we know that there's children all over the world who have these. And we're not even talking about
they never closed the channel.
Savants. I'm talking about like,
I bet they started out like that, where you see these people who are like,
I'm just saying, like, those people, they'll be like, oh, we don't have to worry about whether this person has the work ethic or not, because it's Michael Jackson and he can write songs with his vocal cords, full songs.
Yeah.
You know,
or like savant skills that happen to children very young.
Yeah.
It's almost like that conduit is open, and that as we grow up, it just sort of closes as we get more, as we become more concrete thinkers and we're less intuitive. And then eventually you have to like work really hard to open it back up again. But I think for a lot of these children, these like prodigies, you know, it's that hasn't closed yet. And so they're just like, it's like a tidal wave that comes through for them. I don't know. These sort of things, like, I don't believe them, but they're so interesting that I want to believe them. So I just kind of go along with it. It's not like I would never argue with anybody that these things are true, but they're way more fun to believe in than not.
Totally.
That you have a genius rather than that you are a genius, I think, is a way more interesting and a lot less pressured way to be. Like, if you think of it in that your job is to be a good recipient of genius rather than having to become the genius yourself.
Right.
I think it's a lot less pressure. It's nicer.
I mean, you know, the thing about people who are at that level, I don't think pressure factors into anything they do. I think they're literally just like, you know, I think they're just like,
It probably does. Pressure? Creative pressure?
No, I'm saying people at the highest level.
Yeah.
Like, I've known a few. I've had the privilege.
They're not like constantly tormented that they're not going to be able to do it anymore.
I mean, there's always a certain fear or trepidation that it might end, for example. Yes, but apart from the fact that it might end, like, Leo was always like wary of whether or not his career could continue. You know, how long it might continue, or when something bad would finally happen. You know, but.
You don't have to worry about my screenshot. Is that what you're doing?
I've already got it. I'm just lining it up now.
I thought we would have opened with that because it's kind of a downer. So I kind of don't want to end with it.
Well, I don't know. You asked for it. So
I just
here
screenshotted this these 3 headlines that were stacked on top of each other. That was all from Saturday. I don't know if you guys remember. It feels like 2 years ago, but this Saturday was the weirdest news day. So I took a screenshot of all the headlines. We had the Mexican Navy crashed into the Brooklyn Bridge. It was the weirdest video.
Here, I'm going to put it up for you. I just had to cover up my Frank Frazetta because people be like, is that all 3? Okay. And transition. So this is Angela's. Angela sent me this screenshot of like, okay, so here you go. There it is. It's up.
This was all just Saturday.
Yeah.
And it feels like 2 years ago because the news cycle changes so fast.
Yeah.
But that was all just.
So read it. Here it is. It's up now.
Okay, let me just.
So Mexican Navy ship crashes into New York City's Brooklyn Bridge. Did you see the footage?
Yes. It's the craziest thing. They were doing like, it looked like circus stunts because they were all standing on the mast.
Oh, that's right. You're the one who pointed that out. I didn't realize the first time I saw it that there were people up the mast. I had no idea.
What is this in the corner? Oh, that's your.
Oh, we got to talk about Blake and Justin. You said you had some Justin updates. That's right. Dalka just reminded me. We'll get to that after this. Anyway, that was fucking crazy.
You know that's visible, right? It doesn't matter.
I had to put it there because the Frank Frazetta is there.
Oh, okay.
And it has boobies.
Yeah, you guys, the best artist for your computer wallpapers is Frank Frazetta. He's so good. Okay, anyway, yeah. So this was the craziest thing. So it's clipped. This screenshot is too long. Oh no, it isn't.
I thought I got it all.
Okay, then there was like a devastating tornadoes all across the middle of the U.S.
Yeah, I mean, we were watching Emily D. Baker today, and she's in that path.
Yeah.
And she's sitting there just...
It wasn't just one day.
Stopping and waiting. Okay, that's not tornado.
It was like the last 3 days have been nuts tornadoes. And then in...
that's 18 people dead from tornadoes,
And then in Palm Springs, there was a car bomb blew up outside of a fertility clinic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like a reproductive center.
Oh, Palm Springs.
And the authorities think that this was some sort of like anti-abortion activist, but that is an IVF clinic, and they don't provide any abortion services whatsoever. So it could be that this person saw a sign that said reproductive center and just assumed that it's a place to attack, and he blew up a car bomb.
Wow.
I know. Anyway, so that all happened on Saturday.
Yeah, that's just a crazy, like you wake up your Saturday morning, oh, I'll have some tea and watch what's breaking on the news, and it's just out of control.
The tornadoes have been nuts.
And that's not even like getting into like deeply international shit. This is all fucking America right here.
Right.
We're not talking about the Middle East. We're not talking about,
Anyway, it just kind of blew my hair back. And of course, by Monday, I totally forgot about the Mexican Navy crashing into the bridge. I totally forgot about the car bombing. We just move on so fast now.
Erica is saying that not to bring everything back, but Karen Reed, but Twitter had a bunch of jokes today about how good Bob Alessi is. Honestly, holy fucking shit, that guy should be everybody's attorney. The guy is brilliant. He's fucking brilliant. And he also he somehow gets away with the way in which he speaks to people. He always sounds like he's proving you wrong. He always sounds like he's exposing some kind of inconsistency, if not a lie itself. Honestly, the guy he's fucking brilliant. And I look forward to every time he takes the podium.
I think the trouble with him is that he is a little bit annoying. And I think that matters in trials with a jury.
Honestly, I don't think I could do dinner with him. I think if I was especially if he's hyped and he just won a case or something, I his voice would be I'd be just man, I can't eat my Brussels sprouts around you.
Like the other attorney for the defense, the main attorney, Alan Jackson, he's really charismatic and he's really well spoken, and I think that it's easy for a jury to side with him just as a person. I think you have to be likable. Right. I think one of the reasons why they're retrying this case, I think, is because they might think it was a hung jury because their last prosecutor was horrible in terms of jury, appeal.
Yes.
Do you remember he was such a snooze fest The guy was the most dull, most boring, most inarticulate. I think he
It was unbelievable. I don't know how juries stay awake.
He broke a time record for his opening arguments, and like the jury was like nodding off.
And he was like, furthermore.
So I think that's why there even is a second trial, because their first guy sucked so much. I think that
You want to hear my theory about this? I think there's a second trial because they wanted her to win in the first trial. I think the DA is in on it. I think it's a whole fucking conspiracy right up and down.
What do you mean? The prosecutor wanted her to win?
Yep.
Why?
I think they wanted her because cops killed cops.
Oh, okay.
I think it's bad for. I think they didn't want it for Boston PD. I think they didn't want.
Why did they want her to win?
So that she wouldn't go to jail for something she didn't do. I think they tried to throw the case, and they got a hung jury out of it. And I think they had to retry her because if they don't retry her, then what is that? And so they're still trying to lose the case because they just brought this witness, and his fucking resume is garbage. He lies to people in order to get jobs.
I'm not really. You got to back up. So why would the prosecution bring a case and want to lose?
So that they could say that they put on trial the person they believed to be responsible.
Oh, they're like,
and they're just going to move on.
They're like, guys, she's
the same reason
definitely guilty, but we just, we
they didn't go look for anybody else after OJ. They did not.
Right.
They did not.
That's true.
And they would not have in this situation. They would have just said, you know what, fucking dude, we had our girl and we couldn't convince the jury. We're moving on. But they had to retry her. They had to retry her. And the reason I'm saying this is because the fucking DA is trying to put a woman away for life when the coroner, their own coroner, is sitting up there and saying, but she probably wasn't hit by a car because there's nothing consistent on her.
They're like, I know you guys think that she did something wrong, but we have a body here that says that he wasn't even struck by a car, so I'm not sure what we're doing. That was so funny. It was so funny when the medical examiner was saying that too, because the prosecution, it's their witness, and they kept objecting. I was like, yeah, it looks bad, doesn't it?
Hi, Mrs. Strawberry. It's so good to see you. By the way, our YouTube feed is dope now. We have no drop frames in the entire night.
Sweet.
It's 1080p at 60 frames. I mean, I got to work, bro. I optimized this thing. It looks really sweet. It really is coming together. I think people over at YouTube will agree. I hope you guys are liking it, and if you are, I hope you're liking it. Please like and subscribe. Help the channel, support the channel. All right. Lively and Baldoni, what do you got?
Okay.
First of all, okay, go ahead. What do you got?
Okay.
Yeah.
Where we left off with the Lively and Baldoni lawsuit. Do you got your Chiron on?
Yeah.
The judge, definitely is frustrated with Wayfarer's attorney Brian Friedman. He wrote so much more than he needed to when he struck this last thing. Was
that today or yesterday?
No, that was before the weekend.
Ago. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So Brian Friedman was trying to launder publicity stories through the court docket, and he was trying to, say that Blake Lively was extorting Taylor Swift for support or text messages or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And the judge was like, listen, you cannot be doing this kind of shit because number one, this story that you're trying to put in front of the court has nothing to do with any of the case that we're involved in, and it's not even asking the court to do anything. You're just telling a story. You can't be doing this.
So they're trying to use litigation.
Yeah.
They're trying to use.
He's like, there's nothing operative about this. This doesn't belong here. It's improper, and so you got to cut the shit. And then
people get away with shit, bro.
I know. Well, today, so Lively's side has filed for sanctions against Wayfarer parties. So here's some
interesting.
Here are some points about it. The sanctions from Blake Lively are requested against all the Wayfarer parties except Baldoni and Heath. So Steve Sarowitz, Jennifer Abel, Melissa Nathan, and the It Ends With Us LLC, as well as their lawyers. Not Baldoni and not the Texas guy, who we can't say or else he'll come for us, and not Wayfarer itself. This is about a group pleading issue. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Sanctions. It's a standard frivolous claims argument that they're arguing that by bringing claims by these plaintiffs that have no basis in law or fact, that they're abusing the court system and forcing Lively to incur costs to defend against claims that cannot possibly be won, and also that the claims serve as harassment. And the reason why this exists, she has been warning that she was going to do this, and the reason why it's coming now is because the time has lapsed long enough. So what happened was that Lively was like, listen, Lively's side and the judge was giving Wayfarer parties time to amend their complaints and finally state what it is that they're alleging, and they haven't been able to state what they're what the defendant is supposed to be.
I can't believe that we live in a world where you can file a lawsuit against somebody, fuck up their entire life, and in their career and their reputation, and do all that, and not actually lay out the fucking reason for it.
Yeah, she's like, you're claiming extortion. You haven't quoted what it is that I said that seemed extortionate.
I just
you're claiming
believe it.
theft, and you haven't laid out anything that you think that I've stolen. Like, what is this? And so after enough time has passed, I think it was like a couple of months, now they're like, okay, well, you didn't bring any evidence. I don't even know what I'm supposed to be involved in. So now she's like filing for sanctions. I just think it's interesting. But
by the way, guys, just before you continue, Angela,
Mm-hmm.
by the way, I just threw up this other two-shot that I've been experiencing or experimenting with. Let me know in the chat which one in the YouTube, which one you like better. Do you like this one, or do you like this one?
I don't like this one because I'm big.
Or do you like them both? I'm not asking you.
I don't get a say.
No, you don't get a say.
Okay.
Well, no, you'll get a say later. You'll have all kinds to say later.
I'm so much bigger than you. I feel like it makes it look like I'm the host.
Well, you're not. Okay?
Yeah, well, you have to fix it.
Well, the reason is because, we'll talk later.
We'll talk later?
Yeah, we'll talk later.
I'm telling you now, it's my vote.
Yeah, I know, and we'll talk later about your vote. Anyway, let me know which ones you like.
Anyway.
It's either this or this. And I'm going to use them both. But because I can get like good screen pulls for the YouTubes. You know how you got to do faces on YouTube?
That's a good one. For the thumbnail?
I can make them, yeah.
You should do it.
I got them.
Anyway, I think that this Lively development is a good one.
Yeah, it is for sure for them.
Kat Ortega's a lawyer on the subreddit, says, this is so delicious. We will clean this pleading up for you, Brian Friedman, as you could not be bothered. And before the motions to dismiss are decided, let's not trouble Judge Lyman with all this bullshit. Because they filed these motions to dismiss, and they the Friedman side, the Wayfarer side, was able to amend their complaints. There's just too many people who are involved in a lawsuit that they have no claims to.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, what did I ever do to Sarowitz that makes you guys say I have a defamation claim against him? I mean, that he has a defamation claim against me. She's like, I never even talked about that guy. So yeah, it's supposed to get thrown out. We'll see what happens.
What did you think of The Surfer?
The Surfer movie?
The trailer.
I thought it looked like garbage.
Did you really?
Yes.
Really? I thought it looked fucking great.
I thought it looked so boring. I thought it looked like nothing happens.
Did you like it, Stefan?
It looked to me like one of those movies where they try and turn it into a horror movie by doing like a lot of really like low bassy score, you know?
Yeah.
You know how like you'll have a character who's just like walking through the woods, and you could have like no music and you would just hear leaves crunching and birds singing, and you'd be like, oh, that's nice. We're just having a peaceful walk.
Yeah.
But if you put like boom sound underneath it, all of a sudden you're like, so scary.
There's something there that's going to end this person's life. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like a beach surfing movie, but they're just going to put that score underneath everything to make it look like everything's foreboding and scary, you know?
I love that.
You do?
Sure.
I think it's cheap. I think it's lame.
It's totally. Well, what do you mean? That's
why I like
the epitome of making movies, or the epitome of the beauty of
No
movie
way.
and sound. And,
all of my favorite filmmakers don't do that shit. Like the Coen brothers, they don't do that shit.
They don't?
No, they don't like manipulate the music to try and make me feel something. They let their filmmaking, exquisite filmmaking skills do the talking.
But why isn't sound a part of that?
It shouldn't.
I mean, those ohms and stuff that you're talking about, like they were like used amazingly in movies like The Exorcist or The Omens.
Oh yeah, like Rosemary's Baby.
Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah, but the it should be a compliment and not like the main thing that turns it dark or scary or whatever. I just notice. If I notice the score, it's a bad score. That's what I'm saying. That's all. That's my opinion.
Stefan says of the movie that it was a solid 6 out of 10, that he much prefers a mid-movie that does something interesting over a mid-movie that's generic. And on that, we agree 100%. In fact, it doesn't really add up to a mid-movie for me often when they're able to achieve the idea of coming up with something interesting, like intrigue. I stumbled all over that, didn't I?
I was just thinking about like the pitch. Okay. Surfers.
So he's a surfer. It's an invasion movie on a beach with surfing.
Surfers, but scary.
It's like Taken in an invasion movie on a beach, like Point Break. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's going to be a hit. Hey, let's see.
It's going to be a hit.
It's going to be a hit. Hey, Stefan. I called you Stephen. Stefan, check this out. Guys, we're going to play this one more time before we go because...
what is it? What are you playing?
I'm going to play the Stuff trailer because I was waiting for Stefan to show up and he didn't. So, Stefan, we got basically coerced into watching this movie.
Cosmic? What was his
Cosmic, Cosmic, shit. You stole it from my brain. You sucked it out of my brain. It's been all the urgency.
Cosmic Urgency is the username of the guy that put us up to this. And now he didn't have the dignity to show up and hear our review of this movie. Do not play it again. Don't play it again.
Oh, I am.
It's so bad.
You won't stop me.
Why are you going to do it to them twice?
Because, well, first of all, people liked it.
Well, we're overtime now, so maybe this is like your...
What do you think?
Your encore?
Yeah, this is kind of like my overtime encore. What do you think? Would you go see this movie, Stefan? Here we go.
The stuff is here now. Great new day sensation. Light and free now. We'll get you elevation. Enough is never enough. Enough is never enough.
Oh shit, wait. I didn't fucking transition it. I'm such a goofball. Oh God. See what I mean? This does get complicated. All right, here we go.
The stuff is here now. Great new day sensation. Light and free now. To elevation. Enough is never enough. Enough is never enough of the stuff.
The stuff, the taste that makes you hungry for more. The stuff.
You should be able to see it now.
That delivers.
Yeah, I know, but they were can see it now.
We interrupt this presentation with the following urgent message.
Tonight, America is in grave danger. We are under alien attack by a popular dessert known as the stuff.
By a popular dessert known as the stuff.
Take some.
No! Don't
Scott
eat
Bloom,
that.
look at that.
There is something alive in there.
No, I wish I couldn't see you, so guilty angel.
There's something alive in yogurt. It's called benign bacteria.
That guy did a really good job, though.
He did. He was so creepy.
If the stuff is in your house, do not eat it. If you have it on your shelves, do not sell it.
Do not sell it.
If you distribute this material, close your doors, make no more sales.
Make no more sales. Get his tongue out. That's the best. There you go, guys. The stuff. Oh, that's just immaculately done.
Do you think they were like stirring macaroni and cheese? Like, how do you think they made those sounds?
They might have been stirring macaroni and cheese. There it is, The Stuff, starring Scott Bloom.
The scariest monster movie you will ever see.
I watched the whole thing, and honestly, it's a great B movie.
I can't believe that you're making us all suffer through that twice.
Well, it was for Stefan. Why we have to? He's a big part of our community. We can't just let him.
Stefan, you can't be late again.
You can't be that
You can't
late.
put us through this.
Listen, He missed the no notes section.
Anyway, Cosmic Urgency is going to have a real talking to when he comes back.
I'm going to tell him if he wants to. If he comes back, I'm going to say, if you want to know all about it, go look at episode number 6.
Mm-hmm.
It's all in there. Right?
Yep.
I guess we call these episodes. I don't know.
Nadine said, Angela, why did we have the same thought? Yeah, Nadine, I had to sit through 2 hours of that, an hour and a half or whatever.
It was pretty cool. Listen, when they smash open their heads, like they just punch a dude, and then it's like paper mache just caves in.
Yes, well, that is the coolest thing. Like, I will definitely enjoy every horror movie that does that. Also,
Yeah.
they, like I said earlier, they set fire to a lot of things too, which is really great production value. I appreciate.
And they have like some green screen work in there.
Oh yes, the green screen work is so
like,
bad.
Little Scott Bloom, he jumps into a tanker.
Hey,
and he
spoilers.
I don't give a fuck. He's hiring. It was 1986. It's been spoiled. He's in the tanker, and they shoot him in the tanker, which I was like, that must have been pretty fucking cool to be like shot in a tanker.
Yeah, where he's like sliding around in the bottom of the tanker.
He probably got like what do you call that?
Mesothelioma.
Mesothelioma or something out of it, but at least he got to play in a tanker. But anyway, at some point the slime gets into the stuff. I guess the stuff gets into the tanker to come and get him. You know,
spoilers.
And so he's got he's running away from it in the tanker. It's green screen. It's so bad.
The green screen is really bad.
Oh. Yeah, so it's not in the description. I meant to put it in there and it fucked up, but you can watch it free on YouTube.
Okay,
it's free on YouTube.
You know what we're doing tonight? We're doing a double feature. It's a Michael Moriarty double feature. We were made to watch this stuff, and now we're gonna watch one of my very favorite
trailers right now.
B horror films. Not the trailer.
You don't want me to put the trailer on?
No, because we're gonna.
We're pumping media now.
You don't know what this movie is.
I don't
want you to see the trailer. I want you to just go in fresh.
Let me ask you something. What is your opinion? If I tell you I read this book and it made me cry, is that a spoiler?
It is not a spoiler.
That's not a spoiler, you don't think? I posed the question to YouTube and I posed the question to TikTok. If I tell you, hey man, I read this book and it made me cry, is that a spoiler?
The reason why I don't think it's a spoiler because you're not saying how you cried, when you cried, why you cried.
It's a spoiler to me. Because that you cried is like the big achievement. By the way, you're not going to cry in Too Real. That's not a crier. I mean, you'll feel bad enough for me. Maybe some people, my mom won't cry. No, never mind.
Okay, listen.
Yeah.
Cue The Winged Serpent.
Okay, fine.
It's the Michael Moriarty double feature.
All right.
Both of these films, same director, so it's also the Larry Cohen double feature, okay? But because we were made to watch the stuff, now I'm going to put you through.
All right. What's it called?
Q, The Winged Serpent. But I don't want you to play the trailer.
Q-U-E?
Q.
Oh, Q.
Yes.
The Winged
It's Quetzalcoatl,
Serpent.
I think, it's like a
Central
Central American monster from
official
old
trailer.
Folklore, religious.
All right, this is exciting.
Hey, you're not going to play it.
I'm not?
No, you're not going to play it.
I thought you wanted me to put it on the trailer.
No, I'm saying we're going to watch the movie.
Oh.
Because it's also directed by Larry Cohen and it also has Michael Moriarty, which is he's just delightful.
Star of the stuff.
He's he's not a good actor because he doesn't actually play a role. He just does his Michael Moriarty thing.
You know me
But I just love him.
You know me as a writer. Could I write something like this, do you think? Could I write a
It's probably the easiest thing to write.
Really?
Yes.
You think it's easy to write? Really?
Monster movie? Yes.
You gotta come up with like some serious fucking lines.
No, you don't. The writing's always bad. It's got to be so easy.
I feel like bad writing takes a lot of effort.
I think you should try. I want to know what you come up with.
I mean, I'll just write a treatment for something. I'll just come up with like something, because like the stuff is just the blob, but it tastes good.
Guilty Angel said, I read Lord of the Flies and it made me cry. That was a crier.
Yeah, it's a crier. I mean, that book fucking
Guilty Angel said,
wrecked me.
like a traumatic weeping cry. Have you had a book do that to you?
Yeah, A Little Life made me. Like had me hitching.
That one gets everybody.
It had me hitching.
I haven't read that one. It's enormous, right? How long is it?
750 pages or something, but it had me hitching crying. And The Nightingale.
That one too?
Oh my God, that book, guys. The Nightingale. You gotta. Oh, is Q on TV? I don't know where it's playing. Oh, you know what? I think it might be. Oh, that's the official trailer. Teaser. Oh, there's a teaser. I can't believe you're not letting me play this. I got it all queued up. I got my media all
right, play
working.
Play it.
All
You're
right,
just
fine.
gonna get spoiled, is all.
It's a trailer.
This is what we're doing. If I can find it, I'm not gonna.
I got the trailer here. I got the trailer right here.
I'm not gonna spend $20 on it.
Oh, the movie? All right, here we go. This is the trailer called Q, the Serpent of... What is it?
Q, the
winged serpent. Q, the winged serpent.
It sounds like a fantasy movie.
There it goes. The volume was kind of bad on this. Okay, here we go. If you can hear this, I hope you can hear this on TikTok.
For 10 centuries it has waited to be awakened, to be worshipped again like a god, to fill the skies.
It's very low.
To cast its shadow
It's
over
just the
the
recording.
earth.
Can't do much about it.
To release its fury.
Oh, shit.
Today in New York City, the winged serpent rises.
Oh, I think I saw this.
Serpent rules. The winged serpent.
Oh, I saw this. I'll watch it again.
David Carradine.
This thing has been
David Carradine.
back into existence.
Fucking
Michael
awesome.
Moriarty.
Oh, shit.
It was big and there was
God, people, I'm so sorry. What kind of fucking... you guys got to... Somebody's got to say something. I need help.
I would love to, but it's so lagged on mine.
I'm so sorry, guys. All right, here we go.
Are you gonna play it all again?
Yeah, it's only a minute. It's literally a minute long.
I still have your Chiron up too.
Well, I switched
For
that.
10 centuries it has waited to be awakened, to be worshipped again like a god, to fill the skies, to cast its shadow over the earth, to release its fury.
Oh, I love it.
There's a lot of gratuitous nudity in this too.
Oh, you gotta have that.
The winged serpent rises.
It's her? You see her naked?
The winged serpent.
Not a dude. We don't see men naked. We don't get that until the 2000s.
This thing has been prayed back into existence.
Michael
Oh, some
Moriarty.
thunder out there.
It was big and there was something in it that looked like an egg. But it couldn't have been an egg. I mean, there aren't any eggs. I mean, there's no egg that big.
Richard Roundtree.
What I want to know
It
is,
looked like an ostrich egg.
how the hell does this tie in with the murders and the mutilations?
Candy Clark.
What are you gonna do if someone dies tomorrow, or the next day, or the next day?
Well, I'm not going to think about it. You know, it won't be my fault. It'll be theirs if they don't give me what I want.
Money. $1 million in cash, tax-free.
They are searching. Discovering.
The cast in this movie is amazing.
Believing. And preparing for the battle of 1,000 years.
Load tracer ammunition. Want to see the trajectory?
Get those guys into the basket. Okay, everybody hold their positions. Everybody stay right where you are, all right? Don't move.
Is this the longest trailer ever?
It's like 2 minutes long. It's 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I'll tell you, bro. We do 2-hour lives. And, you know, we play a 2-minute trailer. It's just slow shit down. Isn't that crazy?
Man against the fantastic
It's not a good
flying
trailer.
forces of a lost
I love it.
You like saying a prayer?
It has David Carradine in it.
I love the claymation monsters.
This is so
amazing.
funny.
Today in New York City.
Everybody was like the Empire State Building, right? It was all about that after King Kong.
Yep.
The legend has come alive.
Honestly, I didn't like the trailer.
David Carradine's best work.
I didn't love the trailer.
Anyway, you'll love Michael Moriarty because he gets so much creative license in this movie.
Guilty Angel called the trailer ass. It's ass.
Michael Moriarty has so much creative license in this movie. He gets to like be like a jazz musician, play some piano.
Oh,
you know?
really?
Yeah, it's
That's
really
pretty cool.
great. I love it.
I like to watch him riff.
Just in the middle of like a monster movie, he's
Moriarty.
just like, hey, just a real cool cat. Okay, well, are we going to keep doing
Yeah,
that?
it's 9:30. It's been 2.5 goddamn hours. You guys are
No,
so
I was talking about playing trailers in the middle of your podcast.
I don't know. Hey, the more feedback you guys give us on what you like or don't like will help us. And sometimes I'll defy you, but most times I'll listen to you. I'll only defy you if I think I'm headed in a direction somewhere. But please do give us feedback, because we are obviously and ultimately doing this for you guys. I had so much fun tonight. I hope you did, Angela.
I did.
And I hope you guys did. And I can't wait to see you again tomorrow. We got a whole new week ahead of us. And who knows what tomorrow will bring. I know I'm going to be waking up and jumping on this live and doing all kinds of work.
I'm really grateful that everybody shared their opinions about the look of everything. And you were like, do you like this framing
isn't that
or whatever? That was really nice.
We got the wide shot. We got the side by side with the lively Beldoni. I didn't take that off. Anyway, you guys are fucking brilliant, and I love you guys, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Good night, Angela.
Good night, Dale.
See you guys.
This dog got